Episode 1, The Golden Glow. The summer sun spilled golden light over Willowbrook, painting Peppa Pig's backyard in warm, buttery hues. 9-year-old Peppa stood on her tiptoes, peering over the wooden fence at the edge of her yard. Beyond it stretched the whispering forest, a tangle of green that hummed with secrets. Trees swayed as if waving her closer, their leaves catching the breeze in a soft, rustling song. Peppa's curly pigtail bounced as she turned to her friends, her eyes wide with a spark of adventure. "Are we really going in there today, Peppa?" asked Bluey, an 8-year-old dog with floppy ears and a grin that never quit. He bounced on his paws, his tail wagging like a metronome. "I mean, it's a forest. There could be anything. Treasure. Or squirrels. Or treasure squirrels." Elsa, 10 and thoughtful, adjusted her glasses and clutched a notebook to her chest. Her braids swung as she tilted her head, studying the trees. "It's just a hike, Bluey. Why? But it does feel different today. Like the air is holding its breath." Peppa giggled, her snort echoing in the quiet morning. "Oh, come on, you two. It's summer vacation. No school, no rules, just us and whatever we find. I bet there's something amazing waiting." She grabbed their hands, tugging them toward the forest path. The grass crunched under their sneakers, and the world seemed to hum with possibility. The whispering forest swallowed them gently, its canopy weaving a patchwork of light and shadow. Sunbeams danced on the dirt trail, and a chipmunk darted past, its cheeks puffed with nuts. Peppa led the way, humming a tune she'd made up about clouds and cupcakes. Bluey bounded beside her, sniffing every bush, while Elsa trailed behind, sketching a twisty tree in her notebook. The air smelled of pine and earth, and a breeze tickled their noses with the scent of something sweet, like honey. "Do you smell that?" Peppa asked, stopping so fast Bluey bumped into her. "It's like candy, but not candy. Follow me." She veered off the path, her sneakers kicking up leaves. Bluey yipped and raced after her, while Elsa sighed but followed, muttering about staying on trails. The sweet scent grew stronger, pulling them deeper into the forest. They ducked under low branches and hopped over roots that curled like sleeping snakes. Then, through a gap in the trees, Peppa saw it. She froze, her breath catching. Oh, wow! Before them stood a tree unlike any other. Its trunk was wide and silver, shimmering as if dusted with starlight. Golden leaves hung from its branches, glowing softly, each one trembling with a faint, musical hum. The ground around it sparkled with tiny flecks of light, like scattered fireflies. The air felt warm, alive, as if the tree was breathing. "Bluey, why, Elsa, look!" Peppa whispered, stepping closer. It's magic." "I know it." Bluey's eyes were huge. "It's like a Christmas tree, but better. Can we climb it? Or eat the leaves? Are they candy?" He lunged forward, but Elsa grabbed his collar. "Wait, Bluey, why?" Elsa said, her voice soft but firm. "We don't know what it is. It could be special." She squinted at the tree, her fingers twitching as if itching to write it all down. Before Peppa could agree, a rustle came from above. A shadow flitted through the branches, and a low, hooty voice called out, "Who dares disturb the wishing tree?" The kids yelped, huddling together. From the golden leaves swooped a plump owl, his feathers speckled with silver. His round eyes gleamed like moons, and a tiny scarf fluttered around his neck. He landed on a branch, tilting his head. "I am Mr. Owl, keeper of this tree. And you, young ones, are very curious indeed. Peppa's heart raced, but she stepped forward, her pigtail bouncing. Hi, Mr. Owl. I'm Peppa Pig. This is Bluey and Elsa. We didn't mean to bother your tree. It's just so pretty. Bluey nodded, still eyeing the leaves. Yeah, super pretty. Does it do tricks? Elsa clutched her notebook tighter. Is it really called the wishing tree? Like, for making wishes? Mr. Owl's beak curved in a smile. Oh, yes, Elsa. This tree grants wishes, but only those that come from the heart. Pure, kind, true wishes. Make one carelessly, and, well, surprises may follow. His eyes twinkled, half warning, half teasing. Peppa's mind buzzed. A wishing tree? She thought of all the things she wanted, a new bike, a giant ice cream cone, a pet dragon. But something about Mr. Owl's words made her pause. From the heart. What did that mean? Bluey, though, was already bouncing. I want a wish. Can I wish for a rocket ship? Or 1,000,000 cookies? Mr. Owl hooted softly. One at a time, young pup. Let Peppa try first. She found the tree, after all. Peppa gulped, her cheeks pink. Me? Okay, she closed her eyes, thinking hard. Her mind flicked to last week, when she'd lost her favorite toy, a tiny stuffed bunny she'd had since she was little. She missed it so much her chest ached. I wish I could find my bunny. The tree's leaves shivered, and a warm glow spread from its roots. A breeze swirled around Peppa, carrying that honey-sweet scent. Then, from the base of the tree, a path of glowing pebbles appeared, winding deeper into the forest. Whoa! Bluey barked, jumping up and down. It's a magic road. Let's go. Elsa hesitated, glancing at Mr. Owl. Is it safe? The owl flapped his wings. Safe? Safe enough for brave hearts. Follow the path, but stay sharp. The tree's magic likes to play. Peppa grabbed her friend's hands. Come on. My bunny's out there. I can feel it. They ran along the pebble path, the golden glow lighting their way. The forest seemed to watch, its branches whispering secrets. Peppa's heart thumped with excitement, but a tiny question niggled at her. Why did the tree pick her wish? The path led to a clearing where wildflowers bobbed in the breeze. In the center sat a small wooden box, carved with swirls that matched the tree's bark. Peppa knelt, her fingers trembling as she opened it. Inside was a stuffed toy, but not her bunny. It was a bear, worn and loved, with one button eye missing. That's not mine, Peppa said, her voice small. She held the bear gently, its soft fur tickling her palm. Whose is it? Bluey scratched his ear. Maybe the tree got confused. Like, it's a bear, not a bunny. Close enough. Elsa frowned, studying the box. No, Bluey, why? The tree's magic isn't random. This means something. She flipped open her notebook, sketching the box's carvings. Peppa hugged the bear, her heart twisting. Someone lost this. Someone who loves it like I love my bunny. We should find them. Mr. Owl swooped down, perching on a stump. A wise choice, Peppa. The tree heard your heart, and perhaps it's teaching you something. Teaching? Bluey huffed. I thought wishes were supposed to be easy. Like, poof, here's your stuff. Elsa nudged him. Maybe it's not about getting stuff. Maybe it's about helping. Peppa nodded, clutching the bear. We'll keep looking. For the bear's owner, and my bunny, and whatever else the tree wants us to find. She glanced at the path, which stretched on, glowing faintly in the dusk. As they started walking, Elsa stopped, pointing at the wishing tree in the distance. Its golden leaves shimmered, but one branch held something new, a carving, etched deep in the bark. It looked like a star, pulsing with a soft, eerie light. What's that? Elsa whispered. Bluey tilted his head. Dunno, but it's cool. Think it's a clue? Peppa's eyes locked on the star. It felt important, like a piece of a puzzle she didn't yet understand. Let's find out tomorrow, she said, her voice steady but curious. The tree's got more to tell us. I just know it. The forest hummed around them, alive with whispers and wonders, promising secrets just out of reach. Episode 2, The Singing Stream. The whispering forest sparkled with morning dew as Peppa Pig skipped along the glowing pebble path, the stuffed bear tucked safely in her backpack. Its single button eye seemed to watch her, a quiet reminder of the wishing tree's strange magic. 9-year-old Peppa felt a bubbly mix of excitement and wonder. The tree had heard her wish for her lost bunny, but instead it gave her a mystery. Who did this bear belong to? And why did that star carving glow on the tree's bark last night? Bluey bounded ahead, his floppy ears flapping like tiny wings. The 8-year-old dog's tail wagged so fast it blurred. Come on, Peppa. Elsa. The path's still glowing. Bet it's taking us to a castle. Or a candy shop. He sniffed the air, his nose twitching. Ooh, it smells like adventure. Elsa trailed behind, her braids swinging as she scribbled in her notebook. At 10, she was the careful one, always thinking 2 steps ahead. Bluey, why, slow down, she called, her voice soft but sharp. We don't know where this path goes. And after yesterday, I'm not sure the tree's magic is that simple. Peppa spun around, her pigtail bouncing. Oh, Elsa, that's what makes it fun. The tree's like a game. It gave us the bear, so we're already winning. Right? She grinned, but her fingers brushed the backpack straps, feeling the bear's weight. It wasn't her bunny, but it mattered. She could tell. The forest hummed around them, alive with chirping birds and rustling leaves. Sunlight slipped through the canopy, painting the path in golden patches. The glowing pebbles wound deeper, past ferns that curled like green feathers and mushrooms that glowed faintly blue. The air carried that honey-sweet scent again, mixed with something new, fresh and cool, like rain on a summer day. Do you hear that? Peppa asked, stopping short. A soft, tinkling sound floated through the trees, like bells or laughter. She tilted her head, her ears straining. It's singing. Bluey's ears perked up. Singing? Like a song? Is it a party? He darted forward, but Elsa grabbed his tail. Wait, Bluey, why? Elsa said, her glasses glinting. It's not a party. It's different. Like words, but not words. She closed her eyes, listening hard. It's coming from over there. Peppa led the way, her sneakers crunching on the pebbles. The tinkling grew louder, weaving into a melody that felt both happy and secret. They pushed through a curtain of vines, and there it was, a stream, sparkling like liquid starlight. Its water danced over smooth stones, each ripple singing a note. The sound wasn't just pretty, it pulled at Peppa's heart, like it knew her. Whoa, Bluey whispered, for once standing still. A singing stream? That's cooler than a rocket ship. Elsa knelt by the water, her notebook open. It's not just singing. Listen. It's saying something. She leaned closer, her braid dipping toward the stream. The melody shifted, and faint words bubbled up, clear as glass. Find the heart, the light, the way. Solve my riddle, come what may. Peppa's eyes widened. A riddle? The stream's giving us a riddle. She clapped her hands, her snort echoing. This is the best forest ever. Bluey bounced on his paws. Okay, I'm ready. I wish we could solve that riddle right now. His voice rang out, and the air shimmered, just like it had at the wishing tree. The stream's song paused, then swelled, louder and faster. Bluey, why? Elsa gasped. You made a wish. You didn't even think about it. Bluey blinked, his tail slowing. Was that bad? I just want the adventure part. Before Peppa could laugh, the stream glowed brighter, its water swirling into shapes. The shapes became words, floating above the surface like mist. I am not here, yet I am near. I hold the stars, but never fear. Find me now, or lose your way. What am I? The kids stared, the riddle hanging in the air. Peppa repeated it under her breath, her brow furrowing. Not here, but near, holds the stars. What? Elsa scribbled the words in her notebook, her pencil flying. It's a clue. The stream's testing us. If we solve it, maybe it shows us the next step. Bluey paced, his claws clicking. Stars, stars, is it the sky? No, that's too big. A telescope? A sparkly hat? He groaned, flopping onto the grass. Riddles are hard. Peppa giggled, but her mind raced. The bear in her backpack felt heavier, like it was listening too. She thought of the star carving on the wishing tree, glowing last night. Was it connected? Let's think together, she said, sitting cross-legged by the stream. The tree picked Bluey Wise wish. It wants us to figure this out. They tossed ideas back and forth, the stream's song looping softly. Elsa suggested a constellation, but that didn't fit. Bluey shouted, fireflies, then, glitter, making Peppa snort. But nothing clicked. The sun climbed higher, and Peppa's stomach growled. She reached for her backpack, pulling out a sandwich, when the bear tumbled onto the grass. Oh! Peppa picked it up, brushing dirt off its fur. Its single eye gleamed, and for a moment, she imagined it winking. Guys, what if the riddle's about something small? Like, a reflection? Water holds stars when it's still, right? Elsa's head snapped up. Peppa, that's it. A reflection. It's not here, but it's near, in the water. It shows stars without holding them. And if you look away, you lose it. Bluey leapt up. Yeah. Water's sneaky like that. Okay, stream, we got it. Reflection. The stream sparkled, and its song changed, bright and joyful. The water parted, revealing a new path of glowing pebbles leading into a thicket. But as the kids cheered, thorns sprouted along the path, curling like claws. The stream's voice whispered, haste makes traps. Heart makes maps. Bluey froze, his ears drooping. Oops. Did my wish do that? Elsa sighed, closing her notebook. Mr. Owl said wishes need to come from the heart. You wish to solve it fast, not to understand it. Peppa hugged Bluey, her pigtail tickling his nose. It's okay, Bluey. Why? We'll figure it out. Together. She eyed the thorny path, her heart thumping. The pebbles glowed, but the thorns looked sharp, twisting tighter every second. Let's go slow, Elsa said, stepping forward. Maybe the stream's teaching us something too. They moved carefully, ducking under thorns and stepping over roots. Peppa held the bear close, its soft fur calming her. The path twisted through the thicket, the air growing cooler. Shadows danced, and Peppa thought she saw eyes glinting in the bushes. Was something watching? Finally, the thorns parted, and they stumbled into a clearing. The pebble path ended at a flat stone, carved with the same swirls as the wishing tree. Peppa knelt, tracing the lines. It's like the box from yesterday. The tree's leaving us clues. Bluey sniffed the stone. Clues for what? More riddles. I'm not wishing again till I get a snack. Elsa opened her notebook, sketching the carvings. The stream said, find the heart, the light, the way. And then, heart makes maps. I think, the tree's magic is bigger than we thought. Peppa looked back at the path. The thorns were gone, but the stream's song echoed faintly, like a promise. She thought of Mr. Owl's twinkling eyes, the bear's missing owner, and the star carving. The tree's not just giving us stuff, she said softly. It's showing us something important. As they turned to leave, Elsa gasped, pointing at the wishing tree in the distance. Its golden leaves shimmered, but the star carving glowed brighter now, pulsing like a heartbeat. Below it, new scratches appeared, faint but sharp, like letters trying to form. What's it saying? Bluey whispered, his tail still. Peppa's fingers tightened around the bear. I don't know. But we're gonna find out. The forest sighed around them, its secrets curling closer, waiting for the next wish. Episode 3, Elsa's Secret Wish. The whispering forest glowed softly as the morning sun peeked through the trees, casting speckled light on Peppa Pig's sneakers. 9-year-old Peppa walked with a bounce, the stuffed bear swinging in her backpack. Its single button eye seemed to wink with every step, a quiet puzzle she hadn't solved yet. The wishing tree's magic felt bigger now, like a song she could hear but not sing. Yesterday's singing stream and its tricky riddle left her buzzing with questions. What was the tree trying to show them? And why did that star carving keep glowing? Bluey scampered ahead, his 8-year-old energy spilling over. His floppy ears bounced as he sniffed the air, tail wagging like a flag. Peppa. Elsa. Bet today we find a secret cave. Or a talking frog. Or a frog in a cave. He spun in a circle, nearly tripping over a root. Elsa lagged behind, her braid neat and her notebook clutched tight. At 10, she was the thinker, her glasses catching the light as she studied the pebble path. Bluey, why, caves don't just appear, she said, her voice quiet but firm. And after that thorny trap yesterday, we need to be careful. Her fingers traced the notebook's edge, where she'd sketched the stream's carvings. Peppa turned, her pigtail twirling. Oh, Elsa, careful sporing. The tree's giving us adventures. Like a storybook, but real. She grinned, but her hand brushed the backpack. The bear wasn't her bunny, and the stream's words, find the heart, the light, the way, stuck in her mind like a catchy tune. The pebble path shimmered under their feet, winding deeper into the forest. Ferns swayed like dancers, and fireflies flickered even in daylight, tiny stars in the green. The air smelled of moss and that honey-sweet whiff that meant the wishing tree was near. Peppa's heart skipped. Every step felt like opening a present, even if she didn't know what was inside. Do you feel that? Peppa asked, slowing down. The air seemed to hum, not loud but deep, like a heartbeat. She looked at her friends, her eyes wide. It's like the forest's watching us. Bluey froze mid-bounce. Watching? Like, spooky eyes? Or friendly eyes? He squinted at a bush, then relaxed. Probably squirrels. Squirrels watch everything. Elsa didn't laugh. She stopped, her sneakers scuffing the pebbles. It's not squirrels, Bluey. Why? It's heavier. Like when you know something's important, but you're not sure why. Her voice was softer than usual, and she hugged her notebook closer. Peppa tilted her head. Elsa, you okay? You're all quiet today. Quieter than normal, I mean. She stepped closer, her snort gentle. Is it the riddle? Or the thorns? Elsa's cheeks pinked, and she looked away, her braids swinging. I'm fine, Peppa. Just thinking. The tree's magic is tricky. Bluey Y's wish got us stuck, and your wish gave us someone else's bear. What if we mess up again? Bluey flopped onto the grass, paws in the air. Mess up? We're awesome. We solved the singing stream. That's, like, superhero stuff. Peppa giggled, but Elsa's words tugged at her. Elsa was always brave in her own way, figuring out clues, keeping them on track. But today, her eyes were cloudy, like a rainy day. Peppa reached out, touching Elsa's arm. We won't mess up, Elsa. We're a team. Right? Elsa gave a small smile, but her fingers tightened on the notebook. Before she could answer, a flutter caught Peppa's eye. A butterfly, wings glowing like stained glass, danced above the path. Its colors shifted, blue, gold, green, sparkling brighter than the pebbles. It hovered, then zipped toward Elsa, circling her head. Whoa! Bluey leapt up. A magic butterfly. Think it's got a riddle too? Elsa's eyes widened, and she stepped back, clutching her notebook. It's beautiful. But why's it here? The butterfly landed on her shoulder, its wings brushing her cheek. A warm breeze swirled, carrying Mr. Owl's hooty voice. Well, young ones, said Mr. Owl, swooping from a branch. His silver feathers glinted, and his scarf fluttered. The wishing tree's been listening. Elsa, dear, it's your turn. What's in your heart? Elsa froze, her breath hitching. And me? I don't know. The butterfly fluttered, and her voice dropped to a whisper. I mean, I'm not good at wishes. I overthink them. Peppa bounced on her toes. Oh, Elsa, you'll be great. Just say what you feel. Like when I wished for my bunny. She paused, remembering the bear. Or something like that. Bluey nodded, his tail thumping. Yeah, wish for something cool. Like a flying skateboard. Or a talking pancake. Mr. Owl's eyes twinkled. No need for skateboards or pancakes, Bluey. Why? Elsa's heart knows what it needs. Speak, child. The tree is kind. Elsa bit her lip, glancing at the butterfly. Its glow seemed to pulse with her heartbeat. She closed her eyes, her voice barely audible. I wish I was braver. Like Peppa and Bluey. Why? So I could help more. The air shimmered, and the butterfly soared upward, its wings scattering light like confetti. The pebble path glowed brighter, curving toward a shadowy part of the forest where the trees grew thick and dark. A faint hum rose, not scary but deep, like a secret waiting to be found. Peppa clapped, her snort echoing. "Elsa, that was perfect. Brave's the best wish." She grabbed Elsa's hand, pulling her along. Bluey yipped and followed, the butterfly leading the way like a tiny lantern. The path dipped into a grove where sunlight barely reached. The air grew cool, and the trees loomed, their branches twisting like fingers. Peppa's excitement fizzed, but Elsa's hand trembled in hers. "It's okay, Elsa," Peppa whispered. "We're right here." The butterfly paused at a rocky hill, where a cave yawned open, its mouth dark as midnight. The hum came from inside, low and steady. Peppa's heart raced. "A cave. Bluey, why, you called it." Bluey's tail slowed. Yeah. But it's super dark. Think there's bats? Or, friendly bats?" He edged closer to Elsa, who was staring at the cave, her glasses fogging slightly. Elsa swallowed, her voice shaky. "The butterfly's going in. I wish to be brave. So I have to follow, right?" She looked at Peppa and Bluey, her eyes searching. Peppa nodded, squeezing her hand. "Together. Always." Bluey barked agreement, though his ears twitched nervously. Inside, the cave was cool and damp, the butterflies' glow lighting their way. Stalactites dripped like melted candles, and their footsteps echoed. Peppa held the bear tight, its fur soft against her fingers. The hum grew louder, guiding them to a chamber where the walls sparkled with tiny crystals. In the center sat a stone table, and on it, a rolled-up parchment tied with a golden thread. "A map!" Peppa squealed, rushing forward. She unrolled it, revealing a sketch of the forest. A star-shaped lake stood out, marked with swirls like the wishing tree's carvings. "Look, Elsa! It's a clue!" Elsa's fingers brushed the parchment, her fear easing. "A star-shaped lake, it's real. The tree's showing us where to go next." She smiled, small but proud. "I did it. I went in." Bluey bounced, his tail wagging again. "Yeah, Elsa, you're a cave-exploring superstar. Way braver than me with bats around." Elsa laughed, but her eyes flicked to the cave's shadows. "I'm not that brave yet. I was scared the whole time. I didn't tell you guys, but I'm always afraid I'll mess things up. Like if I say the wrong thing, the magic won't work." Peppa hugged her, the bear squishing between them. "Elsa, you found the map. That's huge. You don't have to be perfect to be brave." She snorted, making Elsa giggle. As they turned to leave, the butterfly fluttered back, landing on the map. Its glow dimmed, and a faint whisper echoed, not from the cave, but from the parchment itself. "The light fades where secrets hide." Bluey tilted his head. "Whoa, now the map's talking? What's fading?" Elsa rolled up the parchment, her hands steadier. "I don't know. But the stream said, find the light. Now this. The tree's telling us something's wrong." Peppa looked at the cave's entrance, where daylight waited. The map felt heavy with promise, like the bear in her backpack. "We'll figure it out," she said, her voice firm. "The tree picked us for a reason." Outside, the forest sparkled, but Peppa glanced back at the wishing tree, far in the distance. The star carving glowed faintly, its scratches sharper now, almost like a word. Was it a trick of the light, or was the tree watching them too? Let's go home and plan, Elsa said, tucking the map in her notebook. Tomorrow, we find that lake. Peppa nodded, her pigtail bouncing. But as they walked, she couldn't shake the whisper in her heart. The tree's magic was kind, but it was hiding something big. Episode 4, The Shadow Sprite's Trick. The whispering forest shimmered under a late morning sun, its leaves catching light like tiny mirrors. Peppa Pig skipped along the glowing pebble path, her pigtail bouncing with each step. At 9, she felt like the forest was her playground, every tree hiding a new surprise. The stuffed bear in her backpack jostled gently, its single button eye a quiet mystery. The wishing tree's magic hummed in her bones, pulling her forward. Yesterday's cave adventure and Elsa's map had her buzzing. A star-shaped lake. What would they find there? Bluey bounded beside her, his 8-year-old energy spilling over. His floppy ears flapped as he chased a butterfly, then spun back. Peppa. Elsa. Think the lake's got fish? Or mermaid fish? Or a fish that sings like the stream? His tail wagged so fast it stirred the air. Elsa walked slower, her braid neat and her notebook open. At 10, she was the puzzle solver, her glasses glinting as she studied the parchment map. Bluey, why, mermaids aren't real, she said, her voice calm but distracted. But this map, it's old. The swirls match the tree's carvings perfectly. She traced the star-shaped lake, her brow furrowed. Peppa spun around, her snort echoing. Oh, Elsa, who cares if it's old? It's magic. The tree's sending us on a treasure hunt. Right, Bluey, why? She grinned, but her fingers brushed the backpack. The bear wasn't her bunny, and the map's whisper, the light fades where secrets hide, tickled her thoughts like a feather. The pebble path glowed brighter today, winding through ferns that curled like question marks. The air smelled of pine and that honey-sweet scent, now mixed with something sharp, like wet stones. Fireflies danced ahead, their tiny lights winking as if guiding the way. Peppa's heart skipped. The forest felt alive, watching their every move. Do you see that? Peppa asked, squinting ahead. The path dipped into a clearing where mist swirled, thin and sparkly, like a veil. The fireflies zipped through it, vanishing into shadows. It's different here. Bluey skidded to a stop, his nose twitching. Mist? Cool. Bet it's hiding a castle. Or a giant cookie. He lunged forward, but Elsa grabbed his collar. Bluey, why? Wait, Elsa said, her eyes narrowing. The map doesn't show a clearing. And after the thorns, we need to check first. She held the parchment up, but the mist thickened, curling around her ankles. Peppa stepped closer, her sneakers sinking into soft earth. Maybe it's part of the adventure. The tree's been nice so far, right? But as she spoke, the mist swirled faster, and a giggle, high and tricky, echoed through the trees. Who's there? Peppa called, her voice wobbling. The giggle came again, closer, followed by a rustle in the bushes. Bluey's ears perked, and Elsa clutched the map tighter. Before anyone could move, a shadow darted from the mist. It was small, no taller than Peppa, with twinkling eyes and wings like smoky glass. It hovered, grinning, its teeth sharp but not scary. Well, tree tamers, it said, its voice like jingling bells. I'm the Shadow Sprite, and you've wandered into my game. Peppa's heart raced, but she stood tall, her pigtail bouncing. Hi, Shadow Sprite. I'm Peppa Pig. This is Bluey, and Elsa. We're just following the tree's path. No trouble, okay? Bluey barked, his tail wagging cautiously. Yeah, no trouble. Unless you've got cookies. Then we're totally troubled. He grinned, but his eyes flicked to the sprite's wings. Elsa stepped forward, holding the map like a shield. Shadow Sprite, why are you here? The wishing tree sent us. This is its path. Her voice was steady, braver than yesterday, but her fingers trembled. The sprite spun in the air, giggling. Oh, the tree's path, is it? But paths twist, and wishes bend. I'm the forest's trickster, and I love a challenge. That map of yours? Looks fun. Before Elsa could react, the sprite swooped, snatching the parchment from her hands. Hey! Elsa gasped, lunging forward. The sprite darted upward, waving the map like a flag. Give it back. Peppa's stomach flipped. Shadow Sprite, that's not fair. We need the map to find the lake. She jumped, trying to grab it, but the sprite twirled out of reach, laughing. Bluey growled, his tail stiff. Not cool, Sprite. I'll climb a tree and get you. He scrambled toward a trunk, but the mist thickened, hiding the sprite's glow. Elsa's face paled, but she took a deep breath, like she had in the cave. Peppa, Bluey, why, don't chase it. It's playing with us. We need to be smarter. She adjusted her glasses, thinking hard. Peppa nodded, her mind racing. The bear in her backpack felt heavy, like it was whispering think, think. The sprite was tricky, but the wishing tree was kind. Maybe. Elsa's right, she said, her voice firm. The tree's magic can help. I've got an idea. She closed her eyes, picturing the tree's golden leaves. Her heart thumped, not for her bunny this time, but for her friends. I wish, she said, loud and clear, for a way to catch the shadow sprite without hurting it, so we can get our map back. The air shimmered, and the mist glowed, soft as moonlight. A breeze swirled, carrying that honey-sweet scent. From the ground sprouted a net, woven from vines and sparkling with dew. It hovered, waiting, as if alive. Whoa! Bluey yipped, bouncing. Peppa, you're a wish genius. Get that sprite. The sprite squeaked, its eyes wide. A net? Clever, Piglet. It darted left, then right, but the net moved faster, guided by the breeze. With a gentle swoop, it scooped the sprite up, its wings fluttering inside the vines. Peppa ran forward, her snort soft. Got you. Now, Shadow Sprite, please give back the map. We're not here to fight. The sprite pouted, crossing its tiny arms. Fine, fine. You're no fun. It tossed the map, and Elsa caught it, hugging it tight. The net dissolved, and the sprite hovered, looking less tricky now. You're good at this, tree tamers. But listen close, the wishing tree's light isn't what it seems. It's fading, oh yes, and tricks won't fix it. Elsa frowned, opening the map. Fading? Like the stream said? Shadow Sprite, what do you know? The sprite giggled, spinning upward. No? I know riddles and games. Ask the tree, not me. With a wink, it zipped into the mist, leaving a single feather behind. The feather glowed faintly, like the star carving, then dimmed. Bluey sniffed it, his nose wrinkling. Weird feather. Think it's magic? Peppa picked it up, its softness tickling her palm. Maybe. The sprite's tricky, but it didn't lie. She tucked the feather in her backpack, next to the bear. Elsa, is the map okay? Elsa nodded, smoothing the parchment. It's fine. The lake's still there. But, the sprite's words bother me. The tree's light fading? We need to find that lake soon. Peppa looked at the path, now clear of mist. The pebbles glowed, leading toward thicker trees. Her heart thumped with excitement, but the sprite's warning lingered. We will, she said, her voice steady. The tree trusts us. I can feel it. As they walked, Bluey hummed, his tail wagging again. That was wild. Think the sprites got friends? Like a whole sprite party? Elsa smiled, her braids swinging. Let's hope not, Bluey. Why? One's enough. But her eyes flicked to the map, where the lake's star shape seemed to pulse. Peppa glanced back, where the wishing tree stood tall in the distance. Its golden leaves shimmered, but the star carving glowed brighter, its scratches sharper, like a name half-formed. The feather in her backpack felt warm, and the forest whispered, soft and secret, promising more surprises. Let's rest tonight, Peppa said, her pigtail bouncing. Tomorrow, we find that lake. And whatever's waiting. The trees swayed, as if nodding, their shadows curling closer. Episode 5, Lucy's Big Idea. The whispering forest sparkled with midday light, its canopy weaving a quilt of green and gold. Peppa Pig skipped along the glowing pebble path, her pigtail swinging like a metronome. At 9, she felt the forest's magic wrapping around her like a cozy blanket. The stuffed bear in her backpack bounced softly, its single button eye a puzzle she carried close. The glowing feather from the shadow sprite, tucked beside it, felt warm, as if whispering secrets. After yesterday's chase, Peppa's heart buzzed with questions. The wishing tree's light was fading? What did that mean for their adventure? Bluey bounded ahead, his 8-year-old paws kicking up leaves. His floppy ears flopped as he sniffed the air, tail wagging wildly. Peppa. Elsa. The lake's gotta be close. I bet it's huge, with boats. Or talking fish. He spun, nearly crashing into a fern. Elsa walked steadily, her braid neat and her notebook open to the star-shaped lake map. At 10, her glasses glinted with focus as she traced the parchment's swirls. Bluey, why, we're not there yet, she said, her voice calm but sharp. And after the shadow sprite stole this map, we can't rush. Something's off. Her fingers lingered on the map, where the lake seemed to shimmer. Peppa twirled, her snort soft and bright. Oh, Elsa, off just means exciting. The tree's giving us clues, like a giant game. We've got the bear, the feather, the map, we're detectives. She grinned, but the sprite's words echoed in her mind. The light fades. She pushed the thought away, focusing on the path's glow. The pebbles shimmered under their sneakers, winding past trees that leaned close, their branches whispering in the breeze. The air smelled of earth and that honey-sweet scent, now tinged with something new, fresh, like cut grass. Fireflies flickered ahead, guiding them through a grove where flowers glowed faintly, petals soft as moonlight. Peppa's chest fizzed with wonder. Every step felt like a page turning in a storybook. Hey, what's that noise? Bluey asked, his ears perking. A faint hum drifted through the trees, not like the stream's song but lighter, like laughter. He tilted his head, sniffing. Sounds happy. Think it's another sprite? Elsa paused, closing her notebook. It's not a sprite, Bluey. Why? It's closer. Like someone's here. Her eyes scanned the grove, her braids swinging as she turned. Peppa's pigtail bounced. Someone else? In our forest? She cupped her hands, calling out. Hello? Anyone there? The hum stopped, and a rustle came from a bush. Before Peppa could move, a girl popped out, her curls wild and her overalls dusted with dirt. She was 7, with a grin as big as Bluey's. Hi, the girl chirped, waving both hands. I'm Lucy Lane. I live in Willowbrook, and I saw your glowy path from my backyard. What's it do? Is it magic? Her eyes sparkled, darting from Peppa to the pebbles. Peppa blinked, then snorted with a laugh. Lucy Lane? Wow, you're fast. I'm Peppa Pig. This is Bluey Y and Elsa. The path's from the wishing tree. It's super magical. She leaned closer, whispering. It grants wishes. Bluey bounced, his tail thumping. Yeah, Lucy. We're on a quest. Bears, maps, sneaky sprites. Wanna join? Elsa adjusted her glasses, her voice cautious. Peppa, Bluey Y, hold on. Lucy, how did you find us? The forest hides the path sometimes. She clutched the map, her brow furrowed. Lucy giggled, twirling a curl around her finger. I'm good at finding stuff. I was chasing a bunny, and poof, there was your path, all shiny. I had to follow it. She bounced, her energy matching Bluey's. Peppa grinned. That's awesome, Lucy. You can come with us. We're looking for a star-shaped lake. She pointed at Elsa's map, her pigtail bouncing. Right, Elsa? Elsa hesitated, then nodded slowly. Okay, Lucy. But stay close. The tree's magic is tricky. Her eyes flicked to the map, where the lake's star pulsed faintly. The 4 kids trekked on, the path glowing brighter. Lucy chattered non-stop, pointing at flowers and asking if they were magic. Bluey raced her to a tree, both giggling when he tripped over a root. Elsa stayed quiet, sketching Lucy in her notebook, her pencil pausing over the lake's swirls. Peppa felt a warm glow. Another friend meant more fun, right? As they reached a meadow, the path stopped at a giant oak, its branches heavy with leaves. The honey-sweet scent was strong, and Mr. Owl swooped down, his silver feathers catching the sun. Well, a new adventurer, he hooted, eyeing Lucy. Welcome, Lucy Lane. The wishing tree's been waiting. Lucy's jaw dropped. A talking owl? Cool. Hi, Mr. Owl. Does the tree really make wishes come true? She clapped, bouncing on her toes. Mr. Owl's beak curved. Oh, yes, little one. But only wishes from the heart. Care to try? His eyes twinkled, half teasing, half serious. Peppa nudged Lucy. Go for it, Lucy. It's fun. Just think hard. She remembered her bear, Elsa's map, Bluey's thorns. Wishes weren't simple, but Lucy's grin made her hopeful. Bluey yipped. Wish for something big, Lucy. Like a dragon. But a nice one. Elsa frowned. Bluey Y, no dragons. Lucy, maybe something safe? She gripped the map, her voice soft. Lucy tilted her head, her curls bouncing. I love flying kites, but mine always crash. I wish for a kite that flies forever. Her voice rang out, and the air shimmered, warm and bright. The oak's leaves rustled, and a breeze swirled, carrying the tree's golden glow. From the branches soared a kite, its fabric shimmering like the wishing tree's leaves. It danced in the sky, trailing a ribbon that sparkled like stars. Lucy squealed, clapping. "It's perfect!" Peppa laughed, her snort loud. "Lucy, that's the best kite ever!" But as she spoke, the kite tugged upward, hard and fast. The ribbon looped around the kids, loose but glowing, and with a gentle pull, it lifted them off the ground. "Whoa!" Bluey barked, his paws flailing. "We're flying!" "Lucy, you're a wish wizard!" Elsa gasped, clutching the map. "Lucy, this wasn't safe." Her braid whipped as they rose, the forest shrinking below. Peppa's heart raced, half scared, half thrilled. "Hold on, everyone!" The kite soared, carrying them over treetops. The wind sang, and Peppa spotted a village nestled in the branches, huts woven from vines, glowing with firefly lanterns. The kite dipped, setting them down on a wooden platform. Lucy bounced, her curls wild. "A tree village? This is better than kites." She ran to the edge, peering at the huts. "Look, there's carvings. Like your map, Elsa." Elsa unrolled the parchment, her hands shaky. "She's right. The swirls, they're the same." She traced a hut's wall, where symbols curled like the tree's bark. "This place is old. Older than Willowbrook." Peppa touched the carvings, her fingers tingling, missing text. The bear in her backpack felt heavy. "The tree brought us here for a reason," she said softly. "These symbols, they're clues." Bluey sniffed a hut. "Clues? Or just fancy doodles? Bet there's more in the village." Before they could explore, a shadow flitted past a hut. Peppa squinted, a figure, small and quick, with smoky wings. "The shadow sprite?" It vanished, but a whisper followed. "Old keeper, new seekers. Find the heart." Elsa froze. "Old keeper? What's that mean?" Lucy tilted her head. "Maybe someone who lived here? Like a tree boss?" Peppa's eyes widened. "The tree's showing us its past." She looked at the carvings, then the kite, still hovering. "Lucy, your wish found this place. We're getting closer." As they stepped toward a hut, the carvings glowed faintly, and the whisper came again. "Old keeper's secret, in the stars." The kite tugged, as if urging them back. Bluey's ears perked. "Stars again? Like the lake?" "This forest loves stars." Elsa tucked the map away. "We need to find that lake. But first, we need to get down." She eyed the kite, her braids swinging. Peppa giggled, her pigtail bouncing. "Lucy, next wish, maybe something on the ground?" But her heart thumped. The village, the carvings, the keeper, what was the tree hiding? The forest hummed below, its secrets curling like mist, waiting for their next move. Episode 6, The Starry Lake. The whispering forest glowed with a gentle afternoon light, its trees swaying like old friends sharing secrets. Peppa Pig walked with a bounce, her pigtail curling in the breeze. At 9, she felt the forest's magic humming through her, bright and warm like a favorite song. The stuffed bear in her backpack jostled softly, its single button eye a quiet companion. The glowing feather from the shadow sprite, tucked beside it, seemed to pulse faintly, as if it knew where they were headed. Yesterday's Tree Village adventure left Peppa's head spinning, carvings, whispers of an old keeper, and Lucy Lane's wild kite wish. Now, the star-shaped lake waited, and Peppa's heart fizzed with wonder. Bluey scampered ahead, his 8-year-old paws kicking up dirt. His floppy ears bounced as he sniffed the glowing pebble path. Peppa. Elsa. Lucy. The lake's gonna be awesome. Bet it's sparkly, with boats. Or floating cupcakes. His tail wagged so fast it blurred, stirring leaves. Elsa kept pace, her braid neat and her notebook open to the star-shaped lake map. At 10, her glasses caught the sunlight as she studied the parchment swirls. Bluey, why, cupcakes don't float, she said, her voice steady but curious. But the map's leading us right to it. Those village carvings, they're connected. Her fingers traced the lake star, her brow furrowed. Lucy Lane skipped beside Peppa, her 7-year-old curls bouncing like springs. Her overalls were dusted with pollen from the meadow. Elsa, connected school. That kite took us to a tree town. Maybe the lake's got a castle. She twirled, giggling, her energy matching Bluey's. Peppa snorted, her laugh soft and bright. Oh, Lucy, a castle would be perfect. But even if it's just water, it's our lake. The tree picked it for us. She patted her backpack, feeling the bear's weight. The old keeper's whisper, secret in the stars, tickled her thoughts, but she pushed it aside, focusing on the path's glow. The pebbles shimmered under their sneakers, winding through a grove where vines draped like curtains. The air smelled of moss and that honey-sweet scent, now mixed with something cool and crisp, like morning dew. Fireflies danced ahead, their lights winking as if pointing the way. The forest felt alive, its branches whispering secrets only Peppa's heart could hear. Do you smell that? Peppa asked, her nose twitching. It's watery. Like rain, but happier. She quickened her pace, her pigtail bouncing. The others followed, the path sloping downward through trees that parted like a gate. Bluey's ears perked. Watery? That's the lake. I'm gonna jump in. He bolted forward, but Elsa grabbed his tail. Bluey, why, slow down, Elsa said, her glasses glinting. We don't know what's there. The sprite, the thorns, the tree's magic isn't always gentle. Her voice was firm, but her eyes sparkled with curiosity. Lucy clapped. A lake's gentle. Bet it's all shiny, like my kite. She tugged Peppa's arm, her curls bouncing. Peppa giggled, leading them through a curtain of willow branches. Then she stopped, her breath catching. Oh, wow! Before them stretched the star-shaped lake, its water gleaming like liquid silver. Each point of the star reflected the sky, dotted with clouds that looked like fluffy sheep. Reeds swayed at the edges, and fireflies hovered, their glow blending with the lake's shimmer. The air hummed, soft and warm, like a lullaby. Bluey's jaw dropped. It's huge. And sparkly. Can we swim? Or boat? Or both? He bounced, his tail thumping the ground. Elsa knelt by the shore, her notebook open. It's beautiful. But look, the water's so clear, I can see the bottom. She pointed, where pebbles glowed faintly, like the path. It's part of the tree's magic. Lucy dipped a toe in, giggling as ripples spread. It's warm. Like a giant bath. Think there's fish? Or treasure? Her eyes scanned the lake, wide and eager. Peppa stepped closer, her sneakers sinking into soft mud. The lake felt alive, watching them. She thought of the map, the carvings, the bear. The tree brought us here for something, she said softly. Maybe, Another clue. Before anyone could answer, Bluey clapped his paws. I know. We need a boat. I wish for a boat to explore the lake. His voice rang out, and the air shimmered, warm and golden, just like at the wishing tree. Bluey, why? Elsa gasped, clutching the map. You wished again? After the thorns? But the lake glowed, its surface rippling faster. From the reeds floated a boat, woven from vines and sparkling with dew. It was small but sturdy, big enough for four, with paddles shaped like leaves. Peppa snorted, her pigtail bouncing. Bluey, why, you're wild. But, nice boat. She climbed in, the vines creaking softly. Come on, everyone. Let's see what's out there. Lucy scrambled aboard, her curls bouncing. Yay, a boat ride. Like pirates, but nicer. Bluey hopped in, rocking the boat, while Elsa stepped carefully, her notebook tucked under her arm. They paddled out, the water smooth as glass. The lake's star points stretched around them, each one reflecting fireflies like tiny constellations. Peppa's heart thumped with excitement, but the sprite's warning, the light fades, lingered. She glanced at Elsa, who was sketching the lake's shape, her pencil flying. Look! Lucy pointed. Under the water, lights flickered, not reflections but something deeper, pulsing like heartbeats. They formed a pattern, swirling and shifting. It's dancing. Elsa leaned over, her braid dipping toward the water. It's not random. It's a message. Like the stream's riddle. She squinted, her glasses fogging. I can't read it yet. Bluey paddled faster, rocking the boat. A message? Cool. Let's get closer. But as he spoke, the sky darkened, clouds rolling in fast. A wind whipped up, churning the lake into waves that slapped the boat. Peppa grabbed the sides, her snort shaky. Bluey, why, careful. The tree's magic's acting funny again. The lights below dimmed, and the boat spun, caught in a current. Lucy clung to Peppa, her curls plastered by spray. Is this my kite all over again? I'm sorry. Her voice wobbled, but she held tight. Elsa's eyes were wide, but she took a deep breath, like in the cave. It's not your fault, Lucy. Bluey Y's wish was, hasty. We need to stay calm. She gripped a paddle, steering against the waves. Peppa, any ideas? Peppa's mind raced, the bear heavy in her backpack. The lake's hum felt urgent now, like a warning. The lights, she said, pointing. They're still there. Maybe they're guiding us. She leaned over, squinting. The pulses formed a path, leading to one star point where reeds glowed faintly. Follow them. Elsa shouted, paddling hard. Bluey and Lucy helped, their faces set. The boat surged, waves crashing, but the lights stayed steady. Peppa's heart pounded, not with fear but hope. The tree was kind, even now. They reached the reeds, and the storm calmed, clouds parting like a curtain. The boat bumped a muddy shore, where a stone tablet stood, carved with swirls and a single star. Elsa touched it, her fingers trembling. It's like the village. And the map. Lucy gasped. Look! The tablet's star glowed, and words shimmered across it. Seek the heart where light began. The lake's lights pulsed once, then faded, leaving only ripples. Bluey's ears drooped. Oops! Did my boat wish mess things up? Peppa hugged him, her pigtail tickling his nose. No way, Bluey. Why? You got us here. This tablet's a clue. She looked at Elsa, who was sketching the words. Right, Elsa? Elsa nodded, her braids swinging. It's another piece. The stream, the map, the village, now this. The trees telling a story. Her voice was quiet but sure. Lucy tilted her head. A story about light? Like the sprite said, fading light? Peppa's fingers brushed the backpack, feeling the feathers' warmth. Maybe. We'll figure it out. She glanced at the lake, now calm and silver again. The tablet's words felt heavy, like the bear, the map, the carvings. As they paddled back, Peppa looked toward the wishing tree, its golden leaves faint in the distance. The star carving glowed brighter, its scratches sharper, almost forming a shape. Was it a word? A name? The forest whispered, soft and secret, promising more. Let's go home, Elsa said, tucking the map away. We need to think about this. Peppa nodded, her snort soft. Tomorrow, we keep going. The trees counting on us. The lake rippled, as if agreeing, its secrets waiting just below the surface. Episode 7, Grandpa Tim's Tale. The whispering forest sparkled with early evening light, its trees casting long shadows that danced like soft giants. Peppa Pig sat on a log near her backyard, just beyond the forest's edge, her pigtail drooping slightly. At 9, she felt the wishing tree's magic tugging at her heart, but today it felt heavier, like a question she couldn't answer. The stuffed bear in her backpack rested against her, its single button eye quiet but present. The glowing feather from the shadow sprite and Elsa's star-shaped lake map were tucked inside too, each a piece of a puzzle that grew bigger every day. Yesterday's lake adventure, the swirling lights, the stormy boat, the tablet's words, left Peppa wondering. Seek the heart where light began. What heart? And why did the tree's light keep fading? Bluey sprawled on the grass, his 8-year-old paws twitching as he chewed a stick. His floppy ears flicked at a passing firefly. Peppa, think the lake's gonna sing next? Or maybe the tablet will dance. He grinned, tail thumping. Bet it's hiding cupcakes. Elsa sat cross-legged, her braid neat and her notebook open. At 10, her glasses glowed in the dusk as she sketched the tablet's star carving. Bluey, why, tablets don't dance, she said, her voice calm but thoughtful. But the words, seek the heart. They match the stream, the sprite, the village. It's all connected. Her pencil paused, her brow furrowed. Lucy Lane bounced nearby, her 7-year-old curls wild as she chased a butterfly. Her overalls were smudged with lake mud. Elsa, connected's awesome. Like my kite. Maybe the heart's a giant star. She spun, giggling, her energy lighting the evening. Peppa snorted softly, her smile small. Lucy, a star heart would be cool. But I'm kinda stuck. The tree's giving us clues, but what if we're missing something big? She hugged her knees, the bear's weight steady in her backpack. The forest loomed behind them, its whispers softer tonight, like it was waiting. Before anyone could answer, a warm voice called from the house. Peppa, kids, supper's ready. It was Grandpa Tim, Peppa's grandfather, his apron dusted with flour. His gray hair caught the sunset, and his eyes twinkled like he knew a secret. Peppa perked up. Grandpa Tim. Can we eat out here? With you? She loved his stories, tales of Willowbrook's past, full of wonder. Maybe he'd spark an idea. Bluey leapt up, tail wagging. Yeah, Grandpa Tim. Tell us a story. One with pirates. Or talking trees. He bounded toward the porch, Lucy racing after. Elsa closed her notebook, her braids swinging. A story might help. The map's old, maybe Grandpa Tim knows something. Her voice was quiet, but her eyes were sharp. Grandpa Tim chuckled, carrying a tray of sandwiches and lemonade. A story, eh? Well, settle in, little ones. He sat on a stump, the kids circling him like fireflies. The forest rustled, as if listening too. Peppa leaned close, her pigtail bouncing, the bear snug in her lap. Long ago, Grandpa Tim began, his voice warm as a campfire. When Willowbrook was just a few houses, the whispering forest was different. Brighter, some say. There was a girl, no older than you, Peppa, named Stella. She loved the forest, knew every tree, every stream. Folks said she could hear its heartbeat. Lucy's eyes widened. A heartbeat? Like, thump thump? She patted her chest, giggling. Grandpa Tim smiled. Something like that, Lucy. Stella found a tree, a grand one, with leaves like gold. It granted wishes, but only kind ones, from the heart. She wished for the forest to stay safe, and it glowed brighter than ever. But one day, something changed. The light dimmed, and Stella vanished, leaving only stories. Peppa's breath caught. Grandpa Tim, was it the wishing tree? She clutched the bear, its fur soft. The tablet's words echoed, where light began. Elsa adjusted her glasses. Stella, that's a star name. The map, the lake, the carvings, they're all stars. Grandpa Tim, did she leave anything? A clue? Grandpa Tim's eyes twinkled. Sharp one, Elsa. Some say Stella hid a gift in the forest, a chest, locked tight, full of her secrets. Never found it myself, but I've seen carvings, old and swirly, deep in the trees. Bluey's tail thumped. A chest? Like treasure? We gotta find it. He bounced, nearly spilling his lemonade. Lucy clapped. Yeah, a secret chest. Bet it's shiny. Her curls bounced as she mimed digging. Peppa's heart raced. A chest? Stella? The tree's light? It fit, like puzzle pieces clicking. Grandpa Tim, we've seen carvings. On the tree, the lake tablet, a village. She paused, then whispered, I wish we could meet Stella. To ask her what happened. The air shimmered, warm and golden, as if the wishing tree heard her from miles away. The forest sighed, and a breeze swirled, carrying that honey-sweet scent. The kids froze, even Bluey, his ears perked. From the shadows stepped a figure, faint, like mist, but shaped like a girl. Her dress sparkled with tiny lights, and her eyes were kind but sad. Peppa Pig, the figure said, her voice like a lullaby. I'm Stella's echo, not her true self. The tree keeps my wish alive. You seek the heart? She pointed to a tree where a carving glowed, a locked chest, etched in swirls. Peppa gasped, her snort shaky. Stella, hi. We're trying to help the tree. Its light's fading. Do you know why? Bluey's jaw dropped. Whoa, a ghost girl? Cool. He edged closer, tail wagging cautiously. Elsa clutched her notebook, her voice steady. Stella, the chest, is it real? Does it hold the heart? Lucy tilted her head. Yeah, is it sparkly? Or magic? Her curls bounced, unafraid. Stella's echo smiled, faint as moonlight. The chest is real, hidden where stars align. But beware, kind hearts unlock it, not clever ones alone. She faded, her last words a whisper. Find it, before the light forgets. The forest stilled, the carving dimming. Peppa's heart thumped, the bear heavy in her lap. A chest, she said softly. That's what the tree wants. Bluey scratched his ear. But where's stars align? Another lake? A sky map? He flopped back, groaning. Wishes are tricky. Elsa sketched the chest carving, her pencil flying. It's another clue. The stream, the sprite, the tablet, now Stella. The heart's the key. Her braid swung, her eyes bright. Lucy hugged Peppa. We'll find it, Peppa. Like a big adventure. Her grin was wide, but her eyes flicked to the forest, where shadows deepened. Peppa nodded, her pigtail lifting. Yeah, we will. Grandpa Tim, thanks for the story. It's important. She looked at the tree where Stella's echo stood. The carving was faint now, but it felt alive. Grandpa Tim chuckled, gathering the tray. You kids are something special. Get some rest, forests keep their secrets late. He winked, heading inside. As the kids packed up, Peppa glanced at the wishing tree, far beyond the trees. Its golden leaves shimmered, but the star carving glowed brighter, its scratches curling like a question mark. Was it Stella's name? Or something else? The bear in her backpack felt warm, like it knew. Let's meet tomorrow, Elsa said, tucking her notebook away. We need to find that chest. Peppa snorted, her smile brave. We will. The tree's counting on us, and so's Stella. The forest whispered back, its secrets curling closer, waiting for the next wish. Episode 8, The Riddle Rock. The whispering forest shimmered with morning dew, its leaves sparkling like tiny jewels in the early light. Peppa Pig skipped along the glowing pebble path, her pigtail bouncing with each step. At 9, she felt the wishing tree's magic humming through her, a warm buzz that kept her going. The stuffed bear in her backpack swung gently, its single button eye a quiet reminder of their quest. The glowing feather from the Shadow Sprite and Elsa's star-shaped lake map rested beside it, joined now by the memory of Stella's echo. Last night's tale from Grandpa Tim, about a chest hidden where stars align, left Peppa's heart racing. A chest. Was it the heart the tree wanted them to find? Bluey bounded ahead, his 8-year-old paws kicking up dirt. His floppy ears flapped as he sniffed the air, tail wagging like a fan. Peppa. Elsa. Lucy. Bet we find that chest today. It's probably huge, with sparkles. Or snacks. He spun, nearly tripping over a root. Elsa walked steadily, her braid neat and her notebook open. At 10, her glasses caught the sun as she studied her sketch of Stella's chest carving. Bluey, why, chests don't hold snacks, she said, her voice calm but focused. But Stella said, where stars align. That's a clue, maybe the lake again, or something new. Her pencil tapped the page, her brow furrowed. Lucy Lane skipped beside Peppa, her 7-year-old curls bouncing like coils. Her overalls were patched from yesterday's adventure. Elsa, stars are everywhere. Maybe the chest's in a tree. Or underground. She twirled, giggling, her eyes scanning the forest. Peppa snorted, her laugh bright and soft. Oh, Lucy, underground would be wild. But the tree's guiding us. I can feel it. She patted her backpack, the bear's weight steady. Stella's words, "Kind hearts unlock it," danced in her mind, mixing with the sprite's warning about fading light. What tied it all together? The pebble path glowed under their sneakers, winding through ferns that curled like green ribbons. The air smelled of pine and that honey-sweet scent, now tinged with something earthy, like wet stone. Fireflies flickered ahead, their lights winking as if whispering this way. The forest felt alive, its branches swaying gently, like a friend urging them on. "Do you hear that?" Elsa asked, stopping short. A low hum rumbled through the trees, not like the lake's song but heavier, like a drum. She tilted her head, her braids swinging. "It's close." Bluey's ears perked. A hum? Like a giant bee? Or a magic rock? He bounced, sniffing the ground. "Bet it's cool." Lucy clapped. "A magic rock. That'd be shiny." She tugged Peppa's arm, her curls bouncing. Peppa's pigtail twirled as she listened. The hum felt warm, not scary, like the tree's glow. "Let's find it," she said, leading them off the path toward a cluster of boulders. The pebbles followed, glowing brighter, as if the tree approved. They pushed through vines and ducked under branches, the hum growing louder. Then, in a clearing, they saw it, a massive rock, round and smooth, as tall as two Peppa. Its surface shimmered with faint carvings, swirls and stars like the wishing tree's bark. The hum came from inside, steady and deep, like a heartbeat. "Whoa," Peppa whispered, her snort soft. "It's alive. Look at those carvings." She stepped closer, her fingers brushing the rock. It was warm, tingling under her touch. Bluey's jaw dropped. "A talking rock? Awesome. Hey, rock, got any snacks?" He tapped it with a paw, grinning. Elsa opened her notebook, sketching the swirls. "Bluey, why, it's not talking, yet. But it's part of the tree's magic. See? The stars match Stella's chest." Her voice was quiet, her eyes sharp. Lucy tilted her head. "Maybe it's hiding the chest. Like a secret door." She knocked on the rock, giggling when it hummed louder. Before Peppa could agree, the rock's hum changed, forming words, slow and clear. "Seekers of the heart, answer me. Solve my riddle, find the key." The carvings glowed, and a breeze swirled, carrying the tree's honey-sweet scent. Peppa's heart skipped. A riddle. Like the stream. She clapped, her pigtail bouncing. "Okay, rock, we're ready." "What's the riddle?" The rock's voice rumbled. "I am not seen, yet I am there. I guard the light, in dark I stare. Name me true, or stay you must." "What am I?" Bluey scratched his ear. A ghost?" "No, a shadow." "Wait, a glowy bug?" He flopped onto the grass, groaning. "Riddles are sneaky." Elsa scribbled the words, her pencil flying. "It's tricky. Not seen, yet there, maybe a star at day. Or, something hidden." Her glasses fogged as she thought. Lucy bounced. "Is it a fairy? They're invisible sometimes." Her curls swung, her grin wide. Peppa frowned, repeating the riddle. The bear in her backpack felt heavy, like it was listening. She thought of Stella, the chest, the fading light. "It's something important," she said softly. "Like the tree's magic." They tossed ideas, the rock humming patiently. Bluey suggested a cloud, then a dream. Lucy guessed a rainbow's end. Elsa wondered about air, but nothing fit. Peppa's stomach growled, she'd skipped breakfast, and she sat by the rock, her mind swirling. Elsa sighed, closing her notebook. We're stuck. The chest's key, we need a hint. She looked at the rock, then Peppa. Peppa, maybe a wish? Something small? Peppa's eyes widened. Good idea, Elsa. She stood, closing her eyes. The tree's glow felt far but kind. I wish for a clue to solve the rock's riddle, so we can find Stella's chest. Her voice was clear, her heart full of hope. The air shimmered, and the rock glowed brighter. A carving appeared, a tiny key, etched beside a star. The voice rumbled again. Look within, where courage lies. The answer hides in fearless eyes. Peppa gasped, her snort shaky. That's it. The answer's a heart. It's not seen, but it's there, guarding the light, our bravery, like Stella's. She clapped, bouncing. Elsa's jaw dropped. Peppa, you're right. The heart's always in us, even in the dark. She smiled, her braids swinging. Bluey leapt up. Heart. Yeah. Told ya I'm brave. He puffed his chest, tail wagging. Lucy hugged Peppa. You're super smart, Peppa. Is the key real now? Her curls bounced, eyes wide. The rock's carvings glowed, and a slot appeared, shaped like a star. With a soft clink, a golden key slid out, landing in Peppa's hands. It was warm, carved with swirls, just like Stella's chest. We did it! Peppa squealed, holding the key high. But as she spoke, a giggle echoed, a high, tricky sound. The shadow sprite swooped from the trees, its smoky wings glinting. Well done, tree tamers, the sprite chirped, hovering. A key for a chest, oh my! But keys turn, and secrets burn. Want to play again? It winked, darting closer. Bluey growled, his tail stiff. Not today, Shadow Sprite. No stealing. He bared his teeth, but his eyes twinkled. Elsa clutched her notebook. Shadow Sprite, what do you know about the chest? Her voice was firm, braver every day. The sprite spun, giggling. No? I know games. Find the chest, then we'll chat. It zipped away, leaving a faint shimmer in the air. Peppa tucked the key in her backpack, next to the bear. We're close, she said, her pigtail bouncing. The tree's helping us, even with sprite tricks. Lucy tilted her head. Close to what? A sparkly chest? Her grin was wide, but her eyes flicked to the forest. Elsa opened her notebook, sketching the key. To Stella's heart. The stream, the lake, now this. It's all about light. Her voice was quiet, her pencil steady. Peppa looked at the path, glowing toward the wishing tree. Its golden leaves shimmered in the distance, but the star carving pulsed, its scratches curling like a smile. Was it watching? The key felt warm, like a promise. Let's go home, Peppa said, her snort soft. Tomorrow, we find that chest. The forest hummed, its secrets curling closer, ready for the next step. Episode 9, The Chest's Secret. The whispering forest glowed with soft morning light, its leaves twinkling like stars caught in green nets. Peppa Pig walked with a bounce, her pigtail curling in the breeze. At 9, she felt the wishing tree's magic thrumming through her, warm and alive, like a hug from the forest itself. The stuffed bear in her backpack swung gently, its single button eye a quiet friend. The glowing feather from the shadow sprite and the golden key from the riddle rock nestled beside Elsa's star-shaped lake map, each a piece of their growing adventure. Yesterday's riddle victory left Peppa buzzing. The key to Stella's chest was theirs. But what would they find inside? And why did the tree's light keep fading? Bluey scampered ahead, his 8-year-old paws kicking up pebbles. His floppy ears bounced as he sniffed the glowing path. Peppa! Elsa! Lucy! The chest's gotta be close. Bet it's shiny, with jewels. Or biscuits. His tail wagged so fast it stirred the air. Elsa kept pace, her braid neat and her notebook tucked under her arm. At 10, her glasses glinted as she clutched the key's sketch in her mind. Bluey, why, chests don't hold biscuits, she said, her voice calm but eager. But Stella's echo said, where stars align. The key fits something big. Her brow furrowed, her thoughts racing. Lucy Lane skipped beside Peppa, her 7-year-old curls bouncing like springs. Her overalls were dusted with dew from morning grass. Elsa, big's awesome. Maybe the chest's got a map to more stars. She twirled, giggling, her eyes scanning the trees. Peppa snorted, her laugh soft and bright. Oh, Lucy, another map would be wild. But this key, it's special. I can feel it. She patted her backpack, the key's weight steady beside the bear. Stella's words, kind hearts unlock it, mixed with the tablet's clue, seek the heart where light began. Was the chest the heart? The pebble path shimmered under their sneakers, winding through ferns that swayed like dancers. The air smelled of moss and that honey-sweet scent, now tinged with something warm, like sun-baked earth. Fireflies flickered ahead, their lights guiding them deeper. The forest felt alive, its branches whispering secrets that tickled Peppa's ears. Do you see that? Peppa asked, squinting ahead. The path widened into a clearing where trees formed a circle, their roots curling like fingers around a stone platform. In the center stood a pedestal, carved with swirls and a single star. It looked old, like it had waited forever. Bluey's jaw dropped. Whoa! A secret stage? Is the chest here? He bounded forward, sniffing the pedestal. Smells. Magic, why? Elsa stepped closer, her braids swinging. Bluey, why, careful. This matches the carvings, tree, lake, rock. It's important. She knelt, tracing the star. There's a slot. For the key. Lucy clapped, her curls bouncing. The chest's coming. Bet it's super sparkly. She bounced, peering at the pedestal as if it might pop open. Peppa's heart raced. Elsa, you're right. This is it. She pulled the golden key from her backpack, its swirls catching the light. The bear felt heavy, like it was watching. Ready, everyone? Bluey nodded, tail thumping. Totally ready. Open it, Peppa. Elsa adjusted her glasses. Go slow, Peppa, Stella said, kind hearts. We're together, that's kind, right? Her voice was steady, but her eyes were wide. Lucy grabbed Peppa's hand. Yeah, we're the kindest. Do it. Her grin was huge, fearless. Peppa took a breath, her snort soft. She slid the key into the slot. It fit perfectly, clicking like a promise. The pedestal glowed, and the ground rumbled gently. The platform split, revealing a wooden chest, its lid carved with stars and swirls. It was small, no bigger than a picnic basket, but it shimmered like the wishing tree's leaves. "Oh, wow," Peppa whispered, kneeling. The chest felt warm, alive. She lifted the lid, and light spilled out, soft and golden. Inside rested a crystal, round and smooth, pulsing faintly like a tiny heart. Its glow was dim, flickering, as if tired. Bluey's ears perked. "A glowy rock? Cool. Is that the heart?" He leaned closer, sniffing. Elsa's notebook fell open. "It's beautiful. But it's weak. Like the sprite said, fading light." She touched the crystal, her fingers trembling. "This is what Stella hid." Lucy tilted her head. "Fading? Why's it sad? Can we fix it?" Her curls drooped, her voice small. Peppa's chest tightened. The crystal's pulse felt like a plea. "We have to try," she said, her pigtail still. "The tree's been leading us here. I wish we could make this crystal shine again." The air shimmered, warm and sweet, as her wish reached the wishing tree. But the forest shook, leaves rustling wildly. The crystal flickered, and a low hum rose, not from the chest but the ground. Peppa gasped, her snort shaky. The pedestal trembled, and the wishing tree, far in the distance, glowed brighter, then dimmed. "Peppa!" Elsa cried, grabbing her arm. "The wish, it's too big. The tree's trying, but something's wrong." Bluey's tail stiffened. "Wrong? Like, broken? Did we break the forest?" He edged closer to Lucy, eyes wide. Lucy hugged Peppa, her curls brushing her cheek. "It's okay, Peppa. The tree likes us. Right?" Her voice wobbled, but she held tight. Peppa clutched the crystal, its faint pulse calming her. "The tree's not broken. It's hurting. Like the bear's owner, or Stella's light." She looked at Elsa, her heart thumping. "Elsa, what do we do?" Elsa took a breath, her braids steady. "The clues, stream, lake, tablet, Stella. They all say, heart. This crystal, it's tied to the forest's heart. We need to learn more." She scribbled in her notebook, her pencil flying. Before Peppa could agree, a giggle echoed, high and tricky. The shadow sprite swooped from the trees, its smoky wings glinting. "Oh, tree tamers, found the shiny, did you?" it chirped, hovering over the chest. "Pretty, but poorly. Fix it?" That's a big wish." Bluey growled, his fur bristling. "Shadow sprite, no tricks. We're busy." He bared his teeth, but his tail wagged slightly. Elsa stepped forward, her glasses glinting. "Shadow sprite, you know something. The fading light, what is it?" Her voice was firm, braver than ever. The sprite spun, giggling. "No? I know sparkles and games. The crystal's tied to the tree's roots, deep, deep down. Find the heart, or poof, no more wishes." It winked, darting away, leaving a shimmer in the air. Peppa's fingers tightened on the crystal. The tree's roots, the heart of the forest. She tucked the crystal in her backpack, next to the bear. It felt warm, like a friend needing help. "We're not giving up." Lucy tilted her head. "Roots? Like underground? That's super secret." Her grin returned, small but bright. Elsa closed her notebook. The sprites hinting at something real. The crystal, the tree, the heart, they're one. Her eyes flicked to the path, glowing faintly now. Peppa looked at the chest, its glow fading. The forest felt quieter, like it was holding its breath. "We'll find the heart," she said, her pigtail lifting. "The tree trusts us." As they turned to leave, Bluey pointed. "Look!" The wishing tree stood tall in the distance, its golden leaves shimmering. The star carving pulsed, its scratches sharper, forming a shape, like a heart around a name. Was it Stella's? Or something new? "Let's rest tonight," Elsa said, her braids swinging. "Tomorrow, we dig deeper." Peppa nodded, her snort soft. "Yeah. The tree's waiting, and so's the crystal." The forest sighed, its secrets curling closer, ready for their next move. Episode 10, The Firefly Dance. The whispering forest sparkled with late afternoon light, its leaves glowing like emeralds kissed by the sun. Peppa Pig walked with a steady step, her pigtail swaying gently. At 9, she felt the wishing tree's magic wrapping around her like a warm scarf, but it carried a quiet worry today. The stuffed bear in her backpack nestled beside the glowing feather, Elsa's star-shaped lake map, and the crystal from Stella's chest. The crystal's faint pulse weighed heavy on Peppa's heart. Yesterday's discovery, that the tree's light was tied to the forest's roots, made their quest feel bigger than ever. What was the heart they needed to find? Bluey bounded ahead, his 8-year-old paws scattering pebbles. His floppy ears flapped as he chased a leaf, tail wagging like a propeller. "Peppa! Elsa! Lucy! Bet we find the roots today!" Like a giant tree basement. With glowy worms. He spun, grinning wide. Elsa kept pace, her braid neat and her notebook tucked under her arm. At 10, her glasses caught the light as she thought about the crystal's dim glow. "Bluey, why, roots aren't basements," she said, her voice calm but sharp. But the shadow sprite said, deep down, "The crystal's tied to something underground." Her brow furrowed, her mind turning. Lucy Lane skipped beside Peppa, her 7-year-old curls bouncing like coils. Her overalls were smudged with dirt from climbing trees. "Elsa, underground's cool. Maybe it's a secret cave. With shiny rocks." She twirled, giggling, her eyes scanning the path. Peppa snorted softly, her smile warm. "Oh, Lucy, a cave would be amazing. The tree's showing us the way." "I know it." She patted her backpack, the crystal's faint pulse steady beside the bear. The sprite's words, "Find the heart," or "No more wishes," mixed with Stella's clue about kind hearts. Was the crystal the heart, or something deeper? The pebble path shimmered under their sneakers, winding through trees that leaned close, their branches whispering secrets. The air smelled of earth and that honey-sweet scent, now tinged with something fresh, like wildflowers after rain. Fireflies flickered ahead, more than usual, their lights pulsing in patterns, like a code. The forest felt alive, urging them forward. "Do you see that?" Peppa asked, pointing. The fireflies gathered in a meadow just off the path, their glows weaving a dance in the air. The pebbles veered toward them, glowing brighter, as if the tree approved. "They're leading us." Bluey's ears perked. "A firefly party? Awesome! Bet they know the roots." He bolted forward, but Elsa grabbed his tail. "Bluey, why, slow down," Elsa said, her glasses glinting. "They're not random. Look, they're forming shapes." She squinted, her braids swinging as the fireflies swirled into a star, then a heart. Lucy clapped, her curls bouncing. "They're magic bugs." Like my kite, but tiny. She tugged Peppa's arm, eyes wide with wonder. Peppa's heart skipped. The fireflies felt like friends, not just lights. Let's follow them, she said, stepping into the meadow. The grass was soft, dotted with flowers that glowed faintly, like spilled moonlight. The fireflies swirled around them, their hum soft and welcoming. As they reached the meadow's center, the fireflies parted, revealing a circle of stones. Each stone was carved with swirls and stars, like the wishing tree's bark. In the middle stood a single tree, smaller than the others, its leaves shimmering silver. The crystal in Peppa's backpack pulsed, stronger now, as if it recognized the place. "Whoa," Bluey whispered, for once still. "This is special. Like the tree's baby cousin." His tail wagged slowly, eyes wide. Elsa knelt by a stone, her notebook open. The carvings match: chest, lake, rock. This is part of the tree's story. She traced a star, her fingers steady. The crystal's reacting. "We're close." Lucy tilted her head. "Close to the heart? Is it here?" She patted the tree, giggling when its leaves rustled. Peppa pulled the crystal from her backpack, its dim glow flickering in her hands. "Maybe, but it's still weak." The sprite said, "Roots." "This tree's roots?" She looked at the fireflies, now circling the silver tree, their lights pulsing faster. Bluey scratched his ear. "Roots are dark. We need light to see." "Hey, I wish for a super bright light to find the heart." His voice rang out, and the air shimmered, warm and golden. "Bluey, why?" Elsa gasped, her braid whipping. "Another wish? After the boat?" But the fireflies glowed brighter, their dance tightening around the tree. The meadow sparkled, and the silver tree's roots glowed faintly, like veins of light under the earth. Peppa snorted, her pigtail bouncing. "Bluey, why, you're a wish machine. Look, it's working." She held the crystal, its pulse stronger, syncing with the fireflies. Lucy bounced. "It's like a fairy show. Go, fireflies." She spun, her curls flying. But as the glow spread, thorns sprouted from the roots, curling like claws. The fireflies scattered, their hum turning sharp. A breeze swirled, carrying a whisper. "Light reveals, but haste conceals." Bluey's ears drooped. "Oops! Did I mess up again?" He edged closer to Peppa, tail still. Elsa took a breath, her voice calm. "No, Bluey, why? Your wish showed us the roots. But, like Stella said, kind hearts, not quick ones." She studied the thorns, her glasses fogging. "We need to be careful." Peppa clutched the crystal, its warmth grounding her. The fireflies tried to help. "Let's follow their path." She stepped forward, the crystal glowing brighter near a root that wasn't thorny. The fireflies returned, their lights forming an arrow pointing deeper into the meadow. They moved slowly, dodging thorns that shrank as the crystal pulsed. Peppa's heart thumped, not fear, but hope. The tree was kind, even when tricky. The fireflies led them to a hollow at the meadow's edge, where roots framed a stone door, carved with a heart and star. The crystal's glow flared, and the door shimmered, but didn't open. Lucy gasped. "A secret door. Is the heart inside?" Her curls bounced, her eyes wide. Elsa touched the door, her fingers tracing the heart. "Maybe. But it's locked, no keyhole. The crystal's not enough." Her voice was quiet, her notebook open. Bluey tilted his head. Locked? Bet the sprite knows. Where's that sneaky guy? He sniffed the air, tail wagging again. Peppa held the crystal close, its pulse like a friend's heartbeat. The fireflies showed us this. The tree wants us to keep going. She looked at the door, its carvings glowing faintly. The bear in her backpack felt warm, like it agreed. Before they could plan, a giggle echoed, high and tricky. The shadow sprite swooped from the trees, its smoky wings glinting. "Oh, tree tamers, found a door, did you?" it chirped, hovering. "Shiny crystal, thorny roots, getting warm." Bluey growled, his fur bristling. "Shadow sprite, no games. Tell us about the door." He bared his teeth, but his eyes twinkled. Elsa stepped forward, her glasses sharp. "Shadow sprite, you said roots. Is this the heart's place?" Her voice was firm, braver every day. The sprite spun, giggling. "Place? Maybe. Hearts hide deep, and doors love secrets. Try a kind wish, not a bright one." It winked, darting away, leaving a shimmer. Peppa's fingers tightened on the crystal. A kind wish, like Stella's. She looked at her friends, their faces lit by fireflies. "We'll open it. Together." Lucy hugged Peppa, her curls soft. "Yeah, together. Like a team." Her grin was wide, fearless. Elsa closed her notebook. The door's next. The crystal, the heart, the light, it's all one. Her eyes flicked to the wishing tree, far off, its golden leaves dim. Peppa glanced at the door, its heart carving pulsing. The forest hummed, softer now, like a lullaby fading. The star carving on the wishing tree glowed in the distance, its scratches sharper, almost a word. Was it calling them? "Let's come back tomorrow," Peppa said, her snort gentle. The tree's waiting, and so's the heart. The fireflies danced, their lights curling closer, promising more secrets. Episode 11, The Hidden Door. The whispering forest shimmered with early morning light, its leaves glowing like soft lanterns in the mist. Peppa Pig walked with a quiet step, her pigtail swaying gently. At 9, she felt the wishing tree's magic pulsing through her, warm but fragile, like a candle flickering in the wind. The stuffed bear in her backpack nestled close to the glowing feather, Elsa's star-shaped lake map, and the crystal from Stella's chest. The crystal's faint glow weighed on Peppa's heart, a reminder of the forest's fading light. Yesterday's firefly dance led them to a stone door carved with a heart and star, but it stayed locked, silent. What was the kind wish the shadow sprite hinted at? Bluey trotted ahead, his 8-year-old paws scuffing the glowing pebble path. His floppy ears twitched as he sniffed the air, tail wagging slowly. "Peppa! Elsa! Lucy! That door's gotta open today. Bet it's hiding a castle. Or a giant glowy worm." He grinned, but his bounce was softer, like he felt the forest's quiet too. Elsa walked beside Peppa, her braid neat and her notebook clutched tight. At 10, her glasses caught the dawn as she studied her sketch of the door's carvings. "Bluey, why, worms don't glow like that," she said, her voice calm but thoughtful. "But the door, it's special." The crystal reacted, and the sprite said, "Kind wish. We're missing something." Her brow furrowed, her fingers tracing the page. Lucy Lane skipped nearby, her 7-year-old curls bouncing like coils. Her overalls were dusted with meadow pollen. "Elsa, missing's okay. The fireflies showed us the door." Maybe it needs a hug. She giggled, twirling, her eyes bright with hope. Peppa snorted softly, her smile small but warm. Oh, Lucy, a hug might work. The tree's been kind, even when it's tricky. She patted her backpack, the crystal's pulse faint beside the bear. The sprite's words, hearts hide deep, mixed with Stella's clue about kind hearts. Was the door waiting for their hearts to speak? The pebble path glowed under their sneakers, winding back to the meadow where fireflies had danced. The air smelled of dew and that honey-sweet scent, now tinged with something cool, like stone after rain. Fireflies flickered ahead, fewer today, their lights guiding them to the silver tree and its root-framed door. The forest felt hushed, like it was holding its breath. Do you feel that? Peppa asked, her voice low. The air seemed heavier, not scary but important, like the moment before a surprise. She looked at her friends, her pigtail still. The door's close. Bluey's ears perked. Yeah, I feel it. Like, a secret's watching. He sniffed the ground, tail wagging faster. Come on, door, show us the good stuff. Elsa adjusted her glasses. It's not just a secret, Bluey. Why? It's the heart. The crystal, the carvings, Stella, they're all pointing here. Her voice was steady, but her hands trembled slightly, clutching her notebook. Lucy grabbed Peppa's hand, her curls bouncing. Let's find it, Peppa. Like a treasure hunt. Her grin was wide, fearless as ever. They reached the meadow, where the silver tree stood, its leaves shimmering faintly. The stone door loomed in the hollow, its heart and star carvings glowing softly, like a heartbeat in the earth. The crystal in Peppa's backpack pulsed, stronger now, as if it knew its home. Fireflies hovered nearby, their lights circling the door. Peppa knelt, touching the carvings. It's warm, she whispered, her snort gentle. Like the wishing tree. But it's still locked. She pulled the crystal out, its dim glow flickering in her hands. Bluey tilted his head. Locked? Maybe we need another key. Or a magic word. Like, abracadabra. He barked the word, but the door stayed still, its hum quiet. Elsa opened her notebook, studying her sketches. No keyhole, no words. Stella said kind hearts. The sprite said a kind wish. Maybe, it's not about the crystal. Her voice softened, her eyes flicking to Peppa. Lucy bounced. A wish. Like my kite. Let's wish for the door to open. She clapped, her curls swinging, but Elsa held up a hand. Wait, Lucy, Elsa said, her braids steady. Bluey wise boat, your kite, wishes can twist. We need something, true. She looked at Peppa, then the crystal, her glasses glinting. Peppa's heart thumped. The bear, the feather, the map, all led here. She thought of Stella, wishing for the forest's safety. Elsa's right, she said, her pigtail lifting. It's about us. Our hearts. She held the crystal, its pulse like a friend's whisper. I'm scared we'll get it wrong, but I think I know. Bluey's tail slowed. Scared? Peppa, you're never scared. He edged closer, his grin soft. Lucy hugged Peppa, her curls brushing her cheek. You're the bravest, Peppa. What's the wish? Her eyes were wide, trusting. Elsa nodded, her voice quiet. Say it, Peppa. We're together. Her notebook rested in her lap, her hands still. Peppa took a breath, closing her eyes. The forest hummed, and the crystal warmed her palms. I wish for the courage to open the door, so we can help the tree's heart. Her voice was clear, her heart full of her friends, the bear, Stella. The air shimmered, golden and warm, as the wish reached the wishing tree. The door glowed, its carvings pulsing. But instead of opening, the hollow shimmered, and mirrors rose from the earth, circling the kids. Each mirror showed their faces, but different, Peppa frowning, Bluey hiding, Elsa silent, Lucy still. Their fears, sharp and clear. "Oh!" Peppa gasped, her snort shaky. "What's this?" The crystal dimmed, and the mirrors hummed, reflecting her worry. Bluey's ears drooped. "My face looks scared. I don't like it." He pawed a mirror, but it stayed firm. Lucy tilted her head. "Mine's all quiet." "I'm not quiet." She tapped her mirror, giggling nervously. Elsa clutched her notebook, her braid trembling. "It's a test. The wish, it's showing us what holds us back." "My mirror." "I'm not speaking up." Her voice was small, but she stood taller. Peppa's mirror showed her clutching the bear, alone. "Mine's me not trusting. But I'm not alone." She looked at her friends, her heart steadying. "We're brave together. Right?" Bluey barked, his tail wagging. "Yeah. I'm not hiding. I'm Bluey Adventure Dog." He grinned at his mirror, and it cracked, fading into light. Lucy spun, her curls bouncing. "I'm loud and happy. Watch me." She danced, and her mirror shimmered, dissolving. Elsa took a breath, facing her mirror. "I'll speak. I'll help." Her voice grew firm, and her mirror melted, glowing softly. Peppa hugged the crystal, facing her fear. "I trust you all." And the tree. Her mirror sparkled, then vanished. The door hummed, and with a gentle creak, it swung open, revealing a hall of vines and starlight. "Whoa!" Bluey yipped, bounding forward. "We did it! Team Awesome!" His tail thumped the ground. Lucy clapped. "It's like a fairy castle." "What's inside?" Her curls bounced, eyes wide. Elsa stepped in, her notebook open. "Look, a scroll." She pointed to a pedestal where a parchment glowed, tied with a silver thread. She unrolled it, reading aloud. "Stella, first keeper, hid the heart. A traitor broke its light." Peppa's heart skipped. "A traitor? Who?" The crystal pulsed, warm but weak. The bear felt heavy, like it knew. Before they could read more, a giggle echoed, high and tricky. The shadow sprite swooped in, its smoky wings glinting. "Oh, tree tamers, mirrors and scrolls. You're deep now," it chirped, hovering. "Traitor's a fun word, isn't it?" Bluey growled, his fur bristling. Shadow sprite, spill it. "Who's the traitor?" He bared his teeth, tail stiff. Elsa held the scroll tight. "Shadow sprite, you know more. Tell us." Her voice was sharp, fearless. The sprite spun, giggling. "No? I know riddles. Find the name, then we'll play." It winked, darting out, leaving a shimmer. Peppa tucked the scroll in her backpack, next to the bear. A traitor, but the heart's still out there. She looked at the hall, its vines glowing faintly. The forest hummed, softer now. Lucy tilted her head. "A name? Like a secret code?" Her grin was small but bright. Elsa closed her notebook. The scroll's a clue. The heart, the traitor, the light, it's all one. Her eyes flicked to the wishing tree, its golden leaves dim in the distance. Peppa glanced at the door, now still. The star carving on the tree glowed far off, its scratches sharper, like a warning. "We're close," she said, her snort gentle. "Tomorrow, we find that name." The forest sighed, its secrets curling closer, waiting for their next wish. Episode 12, The Sprite's Game. The whispering forest glowed with midday light, its leaves sparkling like a sea of green fireflies. Peppa Pig walked with a steady bounce, her pigtail curling in the warm breeze. At 9, she felt the wishing tree's magic humming through her, bright but fragile, like a soap bubble ready to pop. The stuffed bear in her backpack nestled close to the glowing feather, Elsa's star-shaped lake map, the crystal from Stella's chest, and the scroll from the hidden door. The scroll's words, "A traitor broke its light," weighed on Peppa's heart. Yesterday's mirror test had opened the door, but who was the traitor? And where was the forest's heart? Bluey trotted ahead, his 8-year-old paws kicking up glowing pebbles. His floppy ears flapped as he sniffed the air, tail wagging with a cautious wag. "Peppa! Elsa! Lucy! Bet we find that traitor today. Probably a sneaky squirrel. Or a grumpy toad." He grinned, but his eyes darted to the trees, like he felt the forest's quiet. Elsa kept pace, her braid neat and her notebook open to the scroll's sketch. At 10, her glasses caught the sun as she studied the words. "Bluey, why, toads aren't traitors," she said, her voice calm but sharp. "But the scroll, it's old. Stella, first keeper. The traitor's someone from her time." Her brow furrowed, her pencil tapping the page. Lucy Lane skipped beside Peppa, her 7-year-old curls bouncing like springs. Her overalls were dusted with meadow grass. "Elsa, a traitor's spooky. Maybe they stole the heart. Like a pirate." She twirled, giggling, but her eyes flicked to the shadows. Peppa snorted softly, her smile warm but thoughtful. "Oh, Lucy, a pirate would be wild. But the tree's helping us find the truth." She patted her backpack, the crystal's faint pulse steady beside the bear. The sprite's giggle yesterday, find the name, mixed with Stella's kind heart clue. Was the traitor hiding the heart? The pebble path shimmered under their sneakers, winding through ferns that curled like green ribbons. The air smelled of pine and that honey-sweet scent, now tinged with something sharp, like wet stone. Fireflies flickered ahead, their lights faint but guiding, as if the forest whispered hurry. The trees leaned close, their branches swaying gently, like a friend nudging them on. "Do you hear that?" Elsa asked, stopping short. A faint rustle came from the bushes, not wind but something moving. She clutched her notebook, her braids still. "It's close." Bluey's ears perked. "Rustle? Like a bunny? Or, that sprite again?" He sniffed the air, tail slowing. "Bet it's up to no good." Lucy clapped, her curls bouncing. "The shadow sprite. Maybe it's got the heart." She tugged Peppa's arm, eyes wide with excitement. Peppa's pigtail twirled as she listened. The rustle felt sneaky, like a secret slipping away. "Let's check," she said, stepping toward the bushes. The pebbles glowed brighter, as if the tree agreed. "Shadow sprite, are you there?" A giggle erupted, high and tricky. The shadow sprite swooped from the leaves, its smoky wings glinting like glass. It hovered, grinning, its eyes twinkling with mischief. "Tree tamers, back for more," it chirped, spinning in the air. "Scrolls and hearts, oh my! Want a game to find that name?" Peppa stood tall, her snort gentle but firm. "Shadow Sprite, we're not playing tricks. The tree's light is fading. We need the traitor's name." She clutched her backpack, the crystal's pulse faint but steady. Bluey growled, his fur bristling. "Yeah, no stealing this time, Sprite. Spill the beans." He bared his teeth, but his tail wagged slightly, like he half liked the sprite. Elsa stepped forward, her glasses sharp. "Shadow Sprite, you know something?" The scroll said, "Traitor. Tell us who." Her voice was bold, her notebook open to the sketch. Lucy tilted her head, her curls bouncing. "Is it a riddle? I'm good at those." Her grin was wide, fearless as ever. The sprite spun faster, its giggle echoing. "A name for free? Boring. Let's play. Answer 3 truths, and I'll sing the name. Fail, and I keep my secret." It clapped, and the air shimmered, forming a ring of glowing stones around them. The forest hummed, as if watching. Peppa's heart raced. 3 truths? Okay, we're ready. Right, everyone? She looked at her friends, her pigtail bouncing. The crystal felt warm, like it trusted them. Bluey nodded, tail thumping. "Bring it, Sprite. We're truth masters." He puffed his chest, grinning. Elsa adjusted her glasses. "Careful, Bluey, why? It's a test. We need to think." Her voice was steady, her pencil poised. Lucy clapped. "Tests are fun. Let's win." Her curls swung, her eyes sparkling. The sprite hovered, its wings buzzing. Truth 1. What makes the wishing tree glow? It grinned, waiting. Peppa blinked, her mind racing. Easy. Wishes from the heart. She thought of her bear, Elsa's map, Bluey's boat. The sprite nodded, the first stone glowing. Good, Piglet. Truth 2. What dims its light? Its eyes narrowed, sly. Elsa spoke, her voice clear. Something broken, the heart. Like the crystal. She held her notebook tight, remembering the chest. The second stone glowed, and the sprite giggled. Clever glasses. Truth 3. What's stronger than fear? It spun, watching closely. Lucy bounced. Friendship. We beat the mirrors together. Her grin was huge, her curls bouncing. The third stone glowed, and the ring dissolved. The sprite clapped, slower now. Well, well, tree tamers. You're sharp. The name, it's Star. It whispered the word, then darted upward, giggling. Find Star's secret, or the heart stays lost. It vanished, leaving a shimmer. Peppa's breath caught. Star? Like Stella's star? She pulled the crystal out, its pulse flickering. The bear felt heavy, like it knew. Bluey's ears drooped. Star's the traitor? That's weird. Stars are nice. He scratched his head, tail still. Elsa scribbled in her notebook, her braids swinging. Star, it fits. The lake, the carvings, the scroll. But why betray the heart? Her voice was quiet, her pencil flying. Lucy tilted her head. Maybe Star was mad? Or lost? Like Peppa's bunny? Her eyes flicked to the backpack, soft but curious. Peppa tucked the crystal away, her heart thumping. Star's part of the tree's story. We need to find what they did. She looked at the path, glowing faintly now. The forest felt quieter, like it was waiting for them to understand. Bluey sniffed the air. So, no castle today? Just a name? He flopped onto the grass, but his grin returned. Still cool. Elsa closed her notebook. It's more than a name. The heart's tied to Star. The crystal, the door, the light, it's all one. Her eyes flicked to the wishing tree, its golden leaves dim in the distance. Lucy hugged Peppa, her curls brushing her cheek. We'll find Star's secret, Peppa. Like detectives. Her grin was small but bright. Peppa nodded, her snort gentle. Yeah, we will. The tree's counting on us. She glanced at the forest, where the pebble path curved deeper. The star carving on the wishing tree glowed far off, its scratches sharper, curling around Star. Was it a clue or a warning? Let's rest tonight, Elsa said, tucking her notebook away. Tomorrow, we chase Star. Peppa patted her backpack, the bear warm beside the crystal. Tomorrow, we get closer. The forest hummed, its secrets curling like mist, ready for their next step. Episode 13, The Heart of the Forest. The whispering forest glowed with a gentle morning light, its leaves shimmering like a quilt of green and gold. Peppa Pig walked with a quiet bounce, her pigtail swaying softly. At 9, she felt the wishing tree's magic curling around her, warm but delicate, like a butterfly's wing. The stuffed bear in her backpack nestled beside the glowing feather, Elsa's star-shaped lake map, the crystal from Stella's chest, and the scroll naming Star. Yesterday's game with the Shadow Sprite revealed the traitor's name, Star, but left Peppa's heart buzzing with questions. Was Star a person? A secret? And where was the forest's heart they needed to save? Bluey trotted ahead, his 8-year-old paws scuffing the glowing pebble path. His floppy ears twitched as he sniffed the air, tail wagging with a cautious spin. Peppa. Elsa. Lucy. Bet we find Star today. Maybe it's a glowy star. Or a sneaky fox. He grinned, but his eyes flicked to the trees, like he sensed the forest's hush. Elsa kept pace, her braid neat and her notebook clutched tight. At 10, her glasses caught the dawn as she studied her sketch of the scroll. Bluey, why, foxes aren't named Star, she said, her voice calm but sharp. But the name, it's everywhere. Lake, carvings, Stella. Stars tied to the heart. Her brow furrowed, her fingers tracing the page. Lucy Lane skipped beside Peppa, her 7-year-old curls bouncing like coils. Her overalls were smudged with meadow dirt. Elsa, Star's gotta be sparkly. Maybe it's a jewel. Or a fairy. She twirled, giggling, her eyes bright with wonder. Peppa snorted softly, her smile warm but thoughtful. Oh, Lucy, a fairy named Star would be cool. But the tree's showing us something big. She patted her backpack, the crystal's faint pulse steady beside the bear. The sprite's words, find Star's secret, mixed with Stella's clue about kind hearts. Was Star hiding the heart, or protecting it? The pebble path shimmered under their sneakers, winding through ferns that curled like green feathers. The air smelled of moss and that honey-sweet scent, now tinged with something deep, like earth after a storm. Fireflies flickered ahead, their lights faint but guiding, as if whispering closer. The forest felt alive, its branches swaying gently, like a friend pointing the way. "Do you see that?" Peppa asked, her voice low. The path dipped into a grove where trees formed a circle, their roots weaving a carpet of green. In the center glowed a pool of light, not water but pure shimmer, like liquid starlight. The pebbles ended there, glowing brightest, as if the tree had led them home. Bluey's jaw dropped. "Whoa! A glowy puddle? Is that Star?" He bounded forward, but Elsa grabbed his tail. "Bluey, why, wait," Elsa said, her glasses glinting. "It's not a puddle. Look, the light's moving, like the lake's lights." She knelt, her braids swinging as she studied the glow. "It's alive." Lucy clapped, her curls bouncing. "Alive? Like a fairy pool. Bet Star's in there." She tugged Peppa's arm, eyes wide with excitement. Peppa's heart raced. The crystal in her backpack pulsed, stronger now, as if it knew this place. "It's special," she whispered, her snort gentle. She stepped closer, the light warm on her face. "The tree brought us here. For Star." Before anyone could answer, Lucy bounced forward. "I wish we could find Star right now, so we can help the tree." Her voice rang out, and the air shimmered, golden and warm, as the wish reached the wishing tree. "Lucy!" Elsa gasped, clutching her notebook. "A wish? Now?" But the grove glowed brighter, the pool of light swirling faster. Shapes formed in the shimmer, a girl like Stella, a star in her hand, then a shadow breaking it. The light pulsed, and a figure emerged, faint like Stella's echo, but different. It was small, with wings like the sprites, and eyes full of regret. "Seekers," the figure said, its voice soft as a breeze. "I'm Star's echo. Once protector, then breaker. I hid the heart to save it, but broke the light." It pointed to the pool, where a faint glow pulsed, like the crystal's twin. Peppa's breath caught. "Star, you're real. Why did you break it?" She pulled the crystal out, its pulse syncing with the pool's glow. The bear felt heavy, like it understood. Bluey's ears drooped. "Breaker? That's sad. Why hide the heart?" He edged closer to Peppa, tail still. Elsa opened her notebook, her voice steady. "Star," the scroll said, "traitor. But you wanted to save it? What happened?" Her pencil hovered, her glasses sharp. Lucy tilted her head, her curls soft. "Were you scared, Star? Like me when I lose stuff?" Her grin was small, kind. Star's echo shimmered, its wings drooping. "Fear, yes. The forest's light was too bright, drawing greedy eyes. I hid the heart, thinking it safe, but split its power. The crystal you hold, it's half. The other half waits below." It gestured to the pool, fading slightly. Peppa's heart thumped. "Half? So the heart's split?" She held the crystal tighter, its glow weak but warm. "We can fix it, right?" The echo nodded, faint now. "Kind hearts can mend. Find the other half, where roots sing." It dissolved, leaving the pool glowing softly, like a promise. Bluey scratched his ear. "Roots again? This forest loves roots." He grinned, but his tail wagged slowly, like he felt the weight. Elsa scribbled, her braids swinging. "The heart split, crystal and something else. Star wasn't a traitor, just wrong." Her voice was quiet, her pencil flying. Lucy hugged Peppa, her curls brushing her cheek. We'll find it, Peppa. Like my kite found the village. Her grin was wide, but her eyes flicked to the pool. Peppa tucked the crystal away, her mind racing. The bear, the scroll, the carvings, all led here. The tree knew, she said softly. Star hit the heart, but we're meant to bring it back. She looked at the pool, its light pulsing like a heartbeat. Before they could plan, a giggle echoed, high and tricky. The shadow sprite swooped from the trees, its smoky wings glinting. Oh, tree tamers, meeting Star's ghost? Fancy, it chirped, hovering. Half a heart, half a light, getting warm. Bluey growled, his fur bristling. Shadow sprite, enough. Where's the other half? He bared his teeth, but his tail wagged slightly. Elsa stepped forward, her glasses sharp. Shadow sprite, you knew Star's name. Tell us about the roots. Her voice was bold, her notebook open. The sprite spun, giggling. Roots? Deep and twisty. Sing a song, find a glow, maybe? It winked, darting away, leaving a shimmer. Peppa's fingers brushed the backpack, the bear warmed beside the crystal. Roots that sing, like the stream? She looked at her friends, their faces lit by the pool's glow. We're so close. Lucy tilted her head. A song? I can sing. La la la. Her giggle echoed, but the pool stayed still. Elsa closed her notebook. It's another clue. The crystal, star, the heart, it's all one. We need the other half. Her eyes flicked to the wishing tree, its golden leaves dim in the distance. Peppa glanced at the pool, its light fading slightly. The forest hummed, softer now, like a lullaby needing words. The star carving on the wishing tree glowed far off, its scratches curling around Star, sharper now, like a guide. Let's come back tomorrow, Peppa said, her snort gentle. We'll find that song. The grove sighed, its secrets curling closer, waiting for their next wish. Episode 14, The Crystal's Song. The whispering forest shimmered with early afternoon light, its leaves glowing like a patchwork of green and gold. Peppa Pig walked with a steady step, her pigtail swaying gently in the warm breeze. At 9, she felt the wishing tree's magic humming through her, soft and urgent, like a heartbeat needing help. The stuffed bear in her backpack nestled beside the glowing feather, Elsa's star-shaped lake map, the scroll naming Star, and the crystal from Stella's chest. Yesterday's meeting with Star's echo left Peppa's heart buzzing. The forest's heart was split, half in the crystal, half hidden where roots sing. Could they find it and mend the tree's fading light? Bluey trotted ahead, his 8-year-old paws scuffing the glowing pebble path. His floppy ears flapped as he sniffed the air, tail wagging with a cautious spin. Peppa. Elsa. Lucy. Bet we find that singing root today. Like a glowy choir. Or a worm band. He grinned, but his eyes flicked to the shadows, like he felt the forest's quiet weight. Elsa kept pace, her braid neat and her notebook clutched tight. At 10, her glasses caught the sun as she studied her sketch of Star's pool. Bluey, why, worms don't sing, she said, her voice calm but sharp. But Star said, roots sing. The crystal's half the heart, the other half's close. Her brow furrowed, her fingers tracing the page. Lucy Lane skipped beside Peppa, her 7-year-old curls bouncing like springs. Her overalls were dusted with meadow pollen. Elsa, singing roots are cool. Maybe they hum like my kite. She twirled, giggling, her eyes bright with hope. Peppa snorted softly, her smile warm but thoughtful. Oh, Lucy, a humming heart would be amazing. The tree's guiding us, I can feel it. She patted her backpack, the crystal's faint pulse steady beside the bear. Star's words, kind hearts can mend, mixed with the sprite's hint about a song. Was the heart waiting for them to listen? The pebble path shimmered under their sneakers, winding through ferns that curled like green ribbons. The air smelled of earth and that honey-sweet scent, now tinged with something fresh, like dew on leaves. Fireflies flickered ahead, their lights pulsing softly, as if whispering this way. The forest felt alive, its branches swaying gently, like a friend urging them forward. Do you hear that? Peppa asked, stopping short. A faint hum drifted through the trees, not like the stream's song but deeper, like a lullaby from the earth. She tilted her head, her pigtail still. It's singing. Bluey's ears perked. Singing? Like a choir? Or a magic frog? He bounced, sniffing the ground. Bet it's the roots. Elsa adjusted her glasses, her braids swinging. It's not a frog, Bluey. Why? It's familiar. Like the crystal's pulse. She knelt, pressing her ear to the path. It's coming from there. Lucy clapped, her curls bouncing. A song. Let's find it. Like a treasure hunt. She tugged Peppa's arm, eyes wide with excitement. Peppa's heart raced. She pulled the crystal from her backpack, its dim glow flickering in her hands. The hum matched its pulse, like a twin calling out. It's the heart, she whispered, her snort gentle. Come on. She led them off the path, following the sound through trees that parted like curtains. The hum grew louder, guiding them to a hollow where roots twisted like ancient ropes. In the center stood a tree, not silver like the meadows but old and gnarled, its bark carved with stars. The crystal glowed brighter, its hum joining the tree's song. Fireflies swirled around the roots, their lights forming a heart shape. Whoa, Bluey whispered, his tail slowing. This is super special. Like the tree's grandpa. His eyes were wide, his grin soft. Elsa opened her notebook, sketching the carvings. The stars match, chest, lake, door. This is where a star hit the heart. Her voice was quiet, her pencil steady. Lucy tilted her head, her curls soft. Hit it? But it's singing. Bet it's happy to see us. She patted the tree, giggling when its leaves rustled. Peppa held the crystal close, its pulse strong now. The song's calling it, she said, stepping toward the roots. The hum swelled, and a root parted, revealing a hollow glowing with soft light. Inside pulsed an orb, round like the crystal but brighter, like a captured star. It sang, its melody weaving with the crystal's hum. Oh, wow, Peppa gasped, her snort shaky. That's the other half. The bear in her backpack felt warm, like it approved. Bluey bounced, his tail thumping. A glowy ball? Awesome! Is that the heart? He leaned closer, sniffing cautiously. Elsa knelt, her braids swinging. It's the heart's other half. Look, the crystal's glowing with it. She touched the orb gently, her glasses fogging. But it's weak too. Lucy tilted her head. Weak? Like it's sleepy? Can we wake it up? Her grin was small, her eyes flicking to the orb. Peppa's chest tightened. The orb's song felt like a plea, just like the crystals. We need to join them, she said, her pigtail lifting. Star split the heart, but we can fix it. She looked at Elsa, her heart thumping. Right? Elsa nodded, her voice steady. Yes. The clues, stream, star, the roots, all lead here. But, we need a wish. A kind one. Her notebook rested in her lap, her eyes sharp. Bluey scratched his ear. A wish? I'm out, I messed those up. He grinned, but his tail wagged slowly, like he trusted his friends. Lucy hugged Peppa, her curls brushing her cheek. You do it, Peppa. You're good at wishes. Her grin was wide, fearless. Peppa took a breath, holding the crystal. The orb's song filled her, like a memory of Stella's kindness. Okay, she whispered, closing her eyes. I wish for the heart to be whole again, so the tree's light can shine. Her voice was clear, her heart full of her friends, the bear, the forest. The air shimmered, golden and warm, as the wish reached the wishing tree. The crystal and orb glowed, their songs merging into one. The hollow sparkled, and the two halves floated, circling each other. But a shadow flickered, a giggle, high and tricky. The shadow sprite swooped in, its smoky wings glinting. Oh, tree tamers, mending hearts? Bold, it chirped, hovering. But hearts need truth, not just wishes. It darted toward the orb, its wings brushing it. Shadow sprite. Bluey growled, his fur bristling. No tricks. We're fixing this. He bared his teeth, tail stiff. Elsa stepped forward, her glasses sharp. Shadow sprite, let it be. The heart's singing. Her voice was bold, her notebook tight. Lucy clapped, her curls bouncing. Yeah, it's happy. Go away, sprite. Her grin was fierce, her eyes bright. Peppa held the crystal high, her snort firm. Sprite, we're doing this for the tree. The sprite giggled, but backed off, hovering. The crystal and orb touched, their glows merging into a single heart, bright as sunlight. The tree's roots pulsed, and the forest hummed, loud and joyful. It's working. Peppa squealed, her pigtail bouncing. The heart floated, its song filling the hollow. But it dimmed slightly, as if waiting. Elsa gasped. It's not done. The heart's whole, but it needs something else. Her voice was quiet, her eyes scanning the roots. Lucy tilted her head. Needs what? A hug? She hugged Peppa, her curls soft. Peppa's heart thumped. The bear, star, the song, all led here. Truth, she said softly. The sprite said truth. We mended the heart, but we need to keep it safe, like Stella wanted. She looked at the heart, its glow fragile. Bluey tilted his head. Safe? Like, no more hiding? His grin returned, tail wagging. Elsa nodded, her braids swinging. Yes. Star hid it from fear. We have to trust the forest. Her notebook closed, her eyes bright. Peppa clutched the heart, its song warm. One more wish, she whispered. The wishing tree glowed far off, its star carving pulsing, scratches curling like a smile. Let's come back tomorrow, Peppa said, her snort gentle. The tree's almost ready. The forest sang, its secrets curling closer, waiting for their final step. Episode 15, The Light Restored. The whispering forest shimmered with early morning light, its leaves glowing like a tapestry of green and gold. Peppa Pig walked with a hopeful bounce, her pigtail curling in the soft breeze. At 9, she felt the wishing tree's magic thrumming through her, warm and alive, like a song ready to burst free. The stuffed bear in her backpack nestled beside the glowing feather, Elsa's star-shaped lake map, the scroll naming star, and the newly mended heart, a crystal orb pulsing with light. Yesterday's reunion of the hearts halves left Peppa's own heart soaring, but the shadow sprite's words, "Hearts need truth," lingered. The heart was whole, but its glow flickered, as if waiting for one last step to shine forever. Bluey trotted ahead, his 8-year-old paws kicking up glowing pebbles. His floppy ears flapped as he sniffed the air, tail wagging with a bright spin. Peppa. Elsa. Lucy. Bet we fixed the tree today. It's gonna glow like a giant firefly. Or a disco ball. He grinned, bouncing higher than usual. Elsa kept pace, her braid neat and her notebook tucked under her arm. At 10, her glasses caught the dawn as she thought of the heart's song. "Bluey, why, disco balls don't grow," she said, her voice calm but eager. "But the heart, it's stronger now." The sprite said truth. "We're close to saving the light." Her brow furrowed, her fingers itching to sketch. Lucy Lane skipped beside Peppa, her 7-year-old curls bouncing like springs. Her overalls were dusted with forest dirt. "Elsa, truth's sparkly. Like my kite. Maybe the heart needs a big smile." She twirled, giggling, her eyes bright with hope. Peppa snorted softly, her smile warm and wide. "Oh, Lucy, a smile might just do it. The tree's been with us all along." She patted her backpack, the heart's pulse steady beside the bear. Star's mistake, hiding the heart out of fear, mixed with Stella's kindness in her mind. Could they make the forest glow again? The pebble path shimmered under their sneakers, winding back to the hollow where roots sang. The air smelled of moss and that honey-sweet scent, now tinged with something bright, like sunlight on water. Fireflies flickered ahead, their lights dancing in patterns, as if cheering them on. The forest felt alive, its branches swaying gently, like friends waving them closer. "Do you feel that?" Peppa asked, her voice soft. The air hummed, not heavy but joyful, like laughter waiting to spill. She clutched her backpack, the heart's glow warming her through the fabric. "It's happy." Bluey's ears perked. "Happy? Like a party? Bet the tree's throwing one." He spun, tail thumping the ground. "Let's go." Elsa adjusted her glasses, her braids swinging. "It's not a party, Bluey, why, but it's strong. The heart's ready." She looked at Peppa, her eyes sharp but kind. "We just need the right wish." Lucy clapped, her curls bouncing. "A wish? Like fixing a kite. Let's make the tree shiny." She tugged Peppa's arm, her grin wide as the sky. Peppa's heart raced. She led them to the hollow, where the gnarled tree stood, its star-carved bark glowing faintly. The roots framed the spot where the heart's other half had hidden, now empty but humming softly. Fireflies swirled around the tree, their lights forming a heart that pulsed with the orb in Peppa's backpack. The crystal heart felt alive, its song louder, like it knew its time was near. "Oh, wow," Peppa whispered, her snort gentle. She pulled the heart from her backpack, its glow bright but flickering, like a candle in a breeze. "You're almost home." Bluey tilted his head, his tail slowing. "Home? Like, in the tree? That's cool." His grin was soft, his eyes wide with wonder. Elsa knelt by the roots, her notebook open. "The carvings, they're brighter. The heart belongs here, with the tree's roots. Her voice was quiet, her pencil sketching the heart's glow. Lucy patted the tree, her curls soft. It's like my teddy at bedtime. Needs a cozy spot. She giggled, but her eyes flicked to the heart, serious for a moment. Peppa held the heart close, its song filling her chest. The sprite said truth. Star hid it because of fear, but Stella trusted the forest. She looked at her friends, their faces lit by fireflies. We trust it too, right? Bluey nodded, tail thumping. Totally. The tree's our buddy. He puffed his chest, grinning. Elsa closed her notebook, her braids steady. Yes. The heart needs to shine, not hide. Her voice was firm, braver than ever. Lucy hugged Peppa, her curls brushing her cheek. We're the best team. Let's do it, Peppa. Her grin was fearless, her eyes sparkling. Peppa took a breath, the heart warm in her hands. The forest hummed, and the wishing tree's glow felt close, like a friend watching. I wish, she said, her voice clear, for the heart to shine with truth, so the forest's light never fades again. The air shimmered, golden and warm, as the wish reached the wishing tree. The heart glowed brighter, its song swelling into a melody that danced through the hollow. The roots parted, forming a nest of light, and the heart floated, settling gently into the tree's core. The forest sparkled, leaves twinkling like stars, and the fireflies spun, their lights weaving a crown around the tree. It's working! Peppa squealed, her pigtail bouncing. The bear in her backpack felt like it was singing too. But a giggle echoed, high and tricky. The shadow sprite swooped in, its smoky wings glinting. Oh, tree tamers, truth at last, it chirped, hovering. Shiny heart, happy tree, well done. It clapped, its grin softer now, less sly. Bluey growled, his fur bristling. Shadow sprite, no tricks. We fixed it. He bared his teeth, but his tail wagged, like he sensed the sprite's cheer. Elsa stepped forward, her glasses sharp. Shadow sprite, you helped, didn't you? With riddles and hints. Her voice was bold, her notebook tucked away. Lucy tilted her head, her curls bouncing. Yeah, you're not all sneaky. Thanks. Her grin was huge, her eyes bright. The sprite spun, giggling. Helped? Maybe. I like sparkles, and you brought them back. It darted closer to Peppa, its wings brushing the air. One last gift, Piglet. It dropped a tiny star, glowing like the heart, into her hand. For the bear's owner. Peppa's breath caught. The bear? She pulled it from her backpack, its single button eye gleaming. The star fit perfectly where its other eye should be, making it whole. You knew? The sprite winked. Secrets are my game. Find her, and the tree's happy. It zipped away, leaving a shimmer that faded into the light. Peppa hugged the bear, her snort shaky. We'll find her. The heart's song grew, and the forest glowed brighter, its leaves sparkling like 1,000 fireflies. The wishing tree stood tall in the distance, its golden leaves blazing, the star carving clear now, Stella, surrounded by a heart. Bluey bounced, his tail thumping. We did it! The tree's a superstar. He spun, nearly tripping over a root. Elsa smiled, her braids swinging. The heart's whole. The light's back. But, the bear's owner? Her voice was quiet, her eyes flicking to Peppa. Lucy hugged Peppa, her curls soft. We'll find her, Peppa. Like we found the heart. Her grin was wide, her eyes sparkling. Peppa nodded, her pigtail bouncing. Yeah. The tree gave us the bear for a reason. She tucked it away, the star-eye shining. The forest hummed, loud and joyful, like a thank you. As they turned to leave, Peppa glanced at the wishing tree. Its light was strong, but the bear felt warm, like a new adventure waiting. Let's go home, she said, her snort gentle. Tomorrow, we find her. The forest sang, its secrets curling close, now full of light and promise. Episode 16, The Bear's Trail. The whispering forest sparkled with late morning light, its leaves glowing like a blanket of green jewels. Peppa Pig skipped along the glowing pebble path, her pigtail bouncing with each step. At 9, she felt the wishing tree's magic humming through her, bright and joyful, like a song after a long quiet. The stuffed bear in her backpack swung gently, its new star-eye gleaming beside its old button eye, a gift from the shadow sprite. The glowing feather, Elsa's star-shaped lake map, the scroll naming star, and the memory of the mended heart nestled in her heart. Yesterday's triumph, restoring the forest's light, left Peppa buzzing, but the sprite's final clue echoed, find the bear's owner. Who was she, and why did the tree choose Peppa to help? Bluey bounded ahead, his 8-year-old paws kicking up dirt. His floppy ears flapped as he sniffed the air, tail wagging like a flag. Peppa. Elsa. Lucy. Bet we find that bear girl today. Maybe she's a princess. Or a wizard. He spun, grinning, his energy back in full swing. Elsa walked steadily, her braid neat and her notebook tucked under her arm. At 10, her glasses caught the sun as she thought of the bear's star-eye. Bluey, why, wizards don't lose bears, she said, her voice calm but curious. But the sprite knew her. The bear's a clue, like the heart was. Her brow furrowed, her fingers itching to sketch. Lucy Lane skipped beside Peppa, her 7-year-old curls bouncing like coils. Her overalls were patched with forest dirt. Elsa, a clue sparkly. Like my kite. Maybe the bear's girl lives in a treehouse. She twirled, giggling, her eyes scanning the path. Peppa snorted softly, her smile warm and bright. Oh, Lucy, a treehouse would be perfect. The tree's still helping us, I can feel it. She patted her backpack, the bear's star-eye warm through the fabric. The sprite's wink, find her, mixed with Stella's kindness in her mind. Was the bear's owner part of the forest story? The pebble path shimmered under their sneakers, winding through ferns that curled like green feathers. The air smelled of pine and that honey-sweet scent, now lighter, like flowers in bloom. Fireflies flickered ahead, their lights dancing softly, as if guiding them to a new secret. The forest felt alive, its branches swaying gently, like a friend whispering this way. Do you see that? Peppa asked, pointing ahead. The path curved toward a clearing where wildflowers bloomed in bursts of blue and gold. A faint trail, not pebbles but pressed grass, led from the path to a cluster of trees. The fireflies hovered there, their lights pulsing like a heartbeat. Bluey's ears perked. A secret trail? Cool. Bet it's a shortcut to a castle. He bolted forward, but Elsa grabbed his tail. Bluey, why, slow down, Elsa said, her glasses glinting. It's not a castle. Look, the grass is fresh. Someone's been here. She knelt, her braids swinging as she studied the trail. It's small, like a kid. Lucy clapped, her curls bouncing. A kid? Like us? Maybe it's the bear girl. She tugged Peppa's arm, eyes wide with excitement. Peppa's heart skipped. She pulled the bear from her backpack, its star-eye gleaming. The tree gave us this for her. Let's follow it. She stepped onto the trail, the fireflies swirling around her, their hum soft and encouraging. The trail wound through trees that leaned close, their leaves brushing Peppa's shoulders. The forest felt different here, quieter, like it was keeping a gentle secret. Peppa held the bear tight, its fur soft against her fingers. The star-eye seemed to glow brighter, as if it knew the way. "Whoa," Bluey whispered, his tail slowing. "This place feels special. Like a hideout." His grin was soft, his eyes scanning the trees. Elsa opened her notebook, sketching the trail. "It's not on the map, but it's real. The fireflies are guiding us, like with the heart." Her voice was quiet, her pencil steady. Lucy tilted her head, her curls soft. "Guiding? Like my kite guided us to the village? Bet she's close." She patted the bear, giggling when its star-eye twinkled. The trail ended at a small treehouse, woven from vines and perched in an oak. Its roof was covered in moss, and a rope ladder dangled, swaying gently. A faint hum came from inside, not a song but a soft murmur, like someone talking to herself. Peppa's heart raced. This was it. "Hello?" Peppa called, her snort gentle. "I'm Peppa Pig. We've got your bear." She held it up, its star-eye catching the light. The hum stopped, and a face peeked from the treehouse window. It was a girl, about 7, with messy braids and wide eyes. Her dress was patched, like Lucy's overalls. "My bear," she whispered, her voice shaky but hopeful. Bluey bounced, his tail thumping. "Hey! Found you. I'm Bluey. Why? That's Elsa and Lucy. Your bear's super cool." His grin was huge, his ears flapping. Elsa stepped forward, her braids swinging. "Hi. The wishing tree gave us your bear. It's special." Her voice was kind, her notebook tucked away. Lucy waved, her curls bouncing. "Hi, bear girl. I'm Lucy. Your bear's got a star now." She giggled, pointing at the star-eye. The girl climbed down the ladder, her movements slow. "I'm Miare," she said, her eyes fixed on the bear. "I lost her, a long time ago. Thought she was gone forever." She reached for it, her fingers trembling. Peppa handed it over, and Miare hugged it tight, her face lighting up. Peppa's snort was soft. "Miare, the tree wanted us to find you. It gave us the bear, and a star for her eye." She smiled, her pigtail bouncing. "Why'd you lose her?" Miare looked down, her braids falling over her face. "I ran away. My family moved, and I was sad. I left her in the forest, thinking I didn't need her. But I missed her." Her voice was small, but she hugged the bear tighter. Bluey tilted his head, his tail slowing. "Missed her? That's okay. We fixed the tree's heart, so we're good at fixing stuff." His grin was gentle, his eyes kind. Elsa knelt beside Miare, her glasses soft. "Miare, the tree kept your bear safe. It's like it knew you'd come back." Her voice was warm, her hand on Miare's shoulder. Lucy hugged Miare, her curls brushing her cheek. "Yeah. The forest's your friend now. Like us." Her grin was wide, her eyes sparkling. Peppa's heart warmed. The bear's star eye glowed, and the forest hummed, louder now, like a thank you. Miare, want to see the wishing tree? It's super shiny now. She pointed to the distance, where golden leaves sparkled. Miare's eyes widened. A wishing tree? Really? She clutched the bear, her smile growing. Okay, with you. They walked back to the path, Miare holding the bear tight. The fireflies followed, their lights dancing around her, like they'd known her all along. Peppa glanced at the wishing tree, its star carving glowing clear, Stella, with a heart around it. But a new scratch appeared, faint and small, Miare. Look! Lucille gasped, pointing. Miare's name. The tree loves her. Her curls bounced, her giggle echoing. Bluey yipped, his tail thumping. Awesome! We're tree heroes. He spun, nearly tripping over a root. Elsa smiled, her braids swinging. The tree's telling its story. Stella, star, now Miare. Her voice was quiet, her eyes bright. Peppa snorted, her pigtail bouncing. It's not done yet. The tree's got more wishes. She looked at Miare, who hugged the bear, her face glowing like the heart they'd saved. As they reached the tree, Miare gasped, her eyes wide. It's beautiful. She touched the bark, and the star carving pulsed, as if welcoming her. Peppa's heart soared. Make a wish, Miare, something kind. She grinned, her friends nodding. Miare closed her eyes, her voice soft. I wish to be brave, like you. The air shimmered, and the tree glowed, its light wrapping around them all. The forest sang, its secrets curling close, now full of light and new beginnings. Thank you for listening to this incredible story. Our team would really appreciate it if you give us a like and comment. Your opinion is very important to us. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed. See you soon.